experimenting. Yeah, Tommy Sutherland's 11 years old. He's so attentive in class, repeating what he's told. For a boy his age, he looks ready to fly. He also happens to dress just like Bill Nye. He enjoys learning about all the planets and such, though he'd rather be outside, experimenting much. There he could reflect on the theories they presented and ponder dark matter, alone and tormented. Tommy shines when his teacher calls for an answer, but believes something's amiss, something quite deeper. One night, reading about the curve of the ocean, he came across a rather impossible notion. Such horrible news, most would not survive. Could the earth be flat? Hidden by lies? He dug out his telescope from his pop shop, went to the beach to test the earth's drop. But what would arise as he gazed over the pier? The land and a boat that had just disappeared. Bewildered, he ran the numbers at hand. 8 inches per mile squared, but it did not stand. While alone on the beach, the sound quickened away. A quiet voice spoke deep inside. I created it all with you in mind. Tommy tried to talk, but he just couldn't speak. The years of indoctrination had made him weak, so he dropped to his knees and scrawled up in the sand, I am a new person and a part of your plan. He started a group, 2 friends and his dog. Together they searched for answers there in the fog. They didn't just shine a light on the academic crimes, they run tests outdoors most of the time. While other kids repeat theories like they've won, this gang is about action, not to be outdone. They collect real data under the stars, planets or lights, close up rather than far. As the sun comes round, it's a perspective thing. The moon's its counter, very near we've gleamed. The family did jest, you're crazy with no cred. These experiments you do, they're all up in your head. Science ignores facts, unable to debate. You are not special, Tommy, you came from an ape. You are not worthy of this random round ball. Haven't you heard, homie, we discovered it all. His anger echoing through the learned halls as Tommy backed slowly against the wall. The teacher before him was now a zombie slave, as Darwin called out from beyond the grave. He spoke from his coffin, making ghoulish demands. Through the cracking walls reached Neanderthal hands. The school fell away, it began to implode and creak. His mind sorta knew as he began to speak. Every line that had crept into the reams now was decoded, inspired by dreams. To escape the madness, he had reached for the door. Eyes open, floating over linoleum floors. Snow drifting down, hitting his hot face. Zombie teachers, they clung to their place. His voice was soft as he careened and quoted from a powerful internet meme. You sit on a throne of lies.
Yeah, everyone, subscribe to Realm Walker and Friend of Yahweh. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believe Your Own Eyes, episode 20. Is it 20 already? What we are going to experience tonight will blow your mind, if it will. I don't know. I kind of just going off the cuff here. But, you guys, I want to welcome Ron Shekelson to the conversation. He's not even hearing me. Welcome everyone to the conversation. Ron Shekelson, my co-host. It's kind of an off the cuff show tonight. We are going to discuss. Ron has some ideas. I'm not sure exactly what I'm wanting to discuss tonight. I don't know. I'm not really focused right now on a certain thing. What is it you were wanting to go into tonight, Ron?
I had some interesting comments popping up on YouTube, and I was like, I thought one of them looked out of place. I was watching a video about a gun, and in that comment section, it's like flat Earth is, easily proven. The globe is, it's 100% verifiably fake or something like to that effect. I'm like, wow, that's really strange. I just don't see people. And he had like 20 some thumbs up. And I'm like, interesting. Let me click on this and, you know, tell this guy what I think. And as soon as I click on it, it changed over. I'm like, what the hell? And before, when I did this, I got screenshots. But this time I wanted to make a video. I'm like, I'm going to make a video so I could show everybody exactly what's going on. And I did the same thing for another comment where they reposted that poem I made about the Federal Reserve.
Right.
It looked like someone had copied it and pasted it as their own. And I was going to say, oh, good, thanks for sharing it, right? And as soon as I clicked on it, it changed. It changed to something else. I'm like, wow, they are really messing with me. Like YouTube is literally messing with me. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, from what I gathered from your video, you're saying someone changed. What I was gathering from, I think yesterday you were talking about someone is posting under your name on comments on another video, or using the same comment under another name. Is that what you were saying?
Well, here's what happened. That one you have there is a screenshot. I was arguing with somebody on Red Pill Philosophy in his comment section. I was getting in a debate about flat Earth, and he left that reply, right? And then I went to another video by Jamie Deluxe, and I was scrolling through his comments. He probably had about 50 or 60 comments, and I see one with my name. It had at Ron Shekelson. It was tagging me. I'm like, what? I'm scrolling through. I'm like, who the hell is this? And I noticed it. I'm like, wow, this is the exact same comment, word for word, from a different person. And then when I clicked on it, I'm like, you're a bot. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And it changed. I thought, I'm like, I have no idea how it happened, but I was like pissed. I thought maybe he copied that person's remark, but it's so odd that he would be over at Jamie Deluxe, which is like a small YouTube channel. It's like, how it's so random. There's millions and millions, probably billions of YouTube channels. How in the world, the probability that I would see that, you know, minutes after he left it, someone else left it in a totally unrelated place, it was bizarre. I mean, if it was in the guy's same comment section of the same, say he did it in the same comment section of that video, that wouldn't be too unusual. This is like crazy.
Well, I've noticed a lot in some of the comment sections under our videos here that someone they'll go through each video and post the same comment, you know, and they'll tag a certain video, and I have mine set up where if someone puts a link, you know, it's funny. I guess if they're subscribed to me, their links work, you know, but if it's obvious spam, then it won't post a link. It'll give me a notification saying that they have comments needing to be approved for the link, and it's just some, you know, link to a Globy video, you know, a disprove video or whatever. Just like, if the Earth is flat, explain this, you know, that kind of video. And so I see those a lot, but is that what you're talking about, or is it someone? I thought you were saying someone is posting.
I don't know who did it
on another video.
I don't know. Well,
like someone copied your comment from another video and posted in there under your name.
There's a video. If you scroll into your chat, right, you can play my video. It's only like 45 or. What it was is the poem about the Federal Reserve. Somebody copied it and pasted it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It was in the same comment section. So I thought, okay, this person's trying to promote it. I'm like, good on you. Thanks. I clicked on it to tell him, thank you. Keep sharing it. And when I clicked on it, the comment changed over. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, they're playing games with me.
They probably are, Ron, because you are like a flat Earth troll.
Yeah, but so what? I I'm a truth troll.
I know, yeah. I'm just fucking with you.
I only share truth in the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's all right, man. It's all good, man. I mean, you're, yeah. I mean,
I'm saving souls by sharing the truth.
well, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we're all trying to reach as many people as we can. So that's, you know, by any
Right.
means
And
necessary, right?
I thought it was bizarre. I'm like, this is too crazy, man. Nobody's gonna believe me. I'm like, I just had screenshots before, but I'm like, this, and someone was talking to me. I think it was Riggs, because you could hear him in the background laughing on the video with the gun. I'm like, this is crazy. And I click on it. It was like I was narrating. I'm speaking to them. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna believe this, because what I did, I just took my cell phone, right, and I was filming it on my tablet. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Let me just do it, because I was on Discord. I was in the conversation. I'm like, you guys got to see this. And I recorded. He's like, well, download it already. I'm like, well, it takes a minute. I got to go from my phone to the tablet to the upload. It takes a minute. But I did it. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, shout out to everybody. I know I didn't give a great introduction tonight. I'm trying to work my way into this, and Ron, if you could help me out here with introducing everybody to the chat, introduction to the show. I know we kind of just winging it tonight. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll say we got 5
I'm
literalists.
usually more prepared.
We have Tanner Howells, Crystal Surreal. We have Paul Kazar. We have, what else do we have here? Max Z. We have Free. Sanjay W.
Windows all freaking messed up. I can't even find.
Jesse James. We have D. Lees. We have The Beast. Who else do we have up in here?
Yeah, I can't. I just like having trouble finding my main window for the chat.
And you got Shoni.
Latter Data, shout out. Crystal Surreal, everybody, of course. Man, Crystal, thank you so much.
Aaron, we got Aaron Stevens.
Barefoot Billy, I don't think I've seen him before. Thanks.
Barefoot Billy? No, I haven't seen him here. Nice to see you.
That's about everything, Sanjay. Yeah.
Okay, we take a quick one.
Howells,
what I was saying,
give us a thumbs up. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, Jason Mall, what's up, buddy? Okay, that video. If you could play that video on the Discord so people could just see it, because the visuals are basically what I wanted to get across.
Yeah, I was wondering about this one that you posted today. Trust Christ or go to hell.
Girl? Wait, did y'all shout me out? You gonna forget about me on my own show?
I can hear you, Mitty.
Hey, Mitty HC is one of the co-hosts here. I mean, it's me and Ron, and then Mitty is he's holding it down for everybody, man.
Yeah, I'm about to get into the YouTube chats. I just got home. Good to be here. Good to see everyone.
I was just reading. I was reading through the YouTube.
No, I know. I was.
There's guys on Discord. There's people on Discord that I didn't mention because I can only see one screen at a time. But let me go see who's on the Discord. But anyway, that video, if you want to click on that, Helio, the one, because we're not going to be able to hear her testimony. That's one that the people
I
are going to
play that live, but you guys won't be able to hear it. But there's no reason for us to play the whole thing. But I'll go ahead and post it in the chat, and you guys can talk about it. It's called Trust Christ or Go to Hell.
Yeah, that was
I actually didn't watch it, but did you guys watch it?
It was very disturbing, but I'm glad that I watched it. It's something that people need to see.
He's one of that's his channel, Trust Christ or Go to Hell. That's his YouTube name. And he uses the same one on Gap.
Oh, that's the YouTube name. Okay.
That's just his YouTube name. The name of the video is something else. It's about Freemasonry. And then underneath it, they have the Wikipedia, Freemasonry, the official narrative of Freemasonry, like they do with 9/11 and they do with Flat Earth. They do with chemtrails. They put that bullshit description, the official stuff. But what I wanted everyone to see is the video, because you don't need to hear it. The one that I posted where you could see the two comments were identical. That was crazy. That's the third time
you commented under that video, and there was some anomaly that happened when you posted there.
Just click on it and we'll all see it together. Click on the video. Scroll up.
You took a video of it because that's when I'm curious. Like, what do you mean it changed? Like, I'm curious to see what you mean by that.
Yeah, go click on it so we can all see what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. I'm just getting
click
settled
on what? The comment right above the video.
No.
I'm in the live stream text. I mean, you have
scroll up. Those are screen captures. Scroll up to where I got to drop them again. Hold on.
What is she saying in the video? You saying it doesn't matter what she says in the video? Is that what you said?
No.
No, I think you should watch it. It's a powerful.
Let me just.
Yeah, she tells her. Sorry, man.
Is this the one? Dang it. Yeah, I got so many things in my mouth. Hold on, let me go to my channel. You could just scroll up here.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the videos that you posted about your channels.
They're videos.
Was it about that channel? Was it that comments on that channel?
To do with her. Had nothing to do with her.
I didn't ask that. So you have two videos posted right above that. Then you posted some screenshots. Then you posted that video with this chick talking about trust Christ or go to hell. What exactly are you talking? I don't know what you're getting. You're getting at.
Here you go. I just dropped 2 video links. Okay, click on those one at a time, and we'll just watch them. Well, they're only like 25 seconds, right. 30 seconds.
So we're gonna go by the first one here.
Yeah,
and I mean.
Otherwise, we're just lost. Yeah.
All right. So the first video is playing, and it's not. They can't hear it. You want me to unmute it so they can hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
It's short enough.
All right. It's 25 seconds.
I was watching a video about a gun, and I came across this comment that looked totally random. Flat Earth is 100% true. The globe is easily debunked with any kind of scrutiny. And then when I click over here, check this out, it changes the comment. Isn't that strange?
Alright, so we just listened to that. Go ahead and explain what that meant. You said Flat Earth 100% true. Globe Earth is easily debunked with any kind of scrutiny. Then you touch something and it said drink our Kool-Aid, excellent information, da-da-da. Ron, I really don't get what the point is. And now shit's just going crazy.
What I'm saying is, that was not his original comment. The man who left the comment that the flat earth is 100% true, that was just random. And then I clicked on it and it changed. That doesn't happen. When you click on the comment to leave a reply, it usually stays the same. That's an anomaly. That doesn't happen. And then the other one, it displayed the poem that I wrote, word for word. It's okay to be goy. That whole poem. It was there underneath with someone else's name on the title. I clicked on there to leave a reply. I was like, yay, thanks, brother. You know, I wanted to say something like that. When I clicked on it, it all went away and changed
to something else.
Yes, that's my point.
Yeah. Okay.
That is not, yeah, that's weird, dude.
It is.
That's artificial intelligence or something.
How many times did you like go back and try to do it? Did it do the same thing every time?
Yeah, every time. And it was, I seen it on 3 separate occasions. The one with the screenshots was the first time I noticed it because I was in an argument with somebody on Red Pill Philosophy. And I'm like, this is bizarre. I just read this comment somewhere else and he's tagging me. He's tagging me.
Weird, you just hit what? View replies and then it went to the other freaking view.
It changed it up. Normally, it will leave the reply as it was.
Went to a fucking another video. Looks like.
It just went to another comment. His original comment.
You hit. It went to that.
Don't you think that's odd? It's not supposed to do that. Let's say Helio says, the earth is flat, prove me wrong. And then I click on it. It should still say, the earth is flat, prove me wrong. It doesn't change when you want to leave a reply, because that lets me know what I'm replying to. Doesn't change.
Right.
Exactly. I got you.
Yeah, it seems like, they're not letting people respond to it or read the responses. And that's really interesting. Think about the effect of that. It's interesting.
I mean, it may have something to do with your account since you're signed in under your account. And they already know you're...
Well, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to have to get another account. I'm going to make a couple.
The second one is artificial intelligence randomly duplicated my comment.
That was the poem. Yeah, that was the poem. I'm like, that's weird. Now this was under the same video. I left that poem as a comment. I was doing that to raise awareness.
Yeah.
It had the A, like it's okay to be a goy. And I was going around changing them up because that's another story. That's another story with artificial intelligence.
So you tried to go back in your comments and edit it. And
then I noticed someone else posted the same comment. I'm like, wow, that's odd. And I was going to tell them thank you. Well, thanks for sharing the word, but maybe do it in another comment section. You know what I mean? You don't need to make a duplicate in the same comment section. You know what I mean? If there's 700 comments and 2 of them are the same, oh well. But I'd rather have him do it under different videos.
To raise awareness. Agoy was never there. I know he wasn't, man. I know it wasn't there. Couldn't.
Hey, Trumpy girl, see Trumpy in the chat.
What'd she say?
Yeah, that's too weird. I don't get it, man. I know they're targeting me and everything. Right. Don't you think that's bizarre?
That is. That's really strange.
And then when I came back, it's there again. I'm like, oh, because watch when I close it, it changed back to the normal version. Then I come back down again. Swipe back down and it's changed again. I'm like, oh man, it's too weird. Demons using AI. You know what? I'm thinking they're trying to do something like that because that poem about the Federal Reserve, a lot of people were reading it. I must have shared it probably a couple hundred times. And Helio was singing it on one of his shows. And he had it scrolling. He had the text of it in the background on Discord, just like we're seeing right now. And in the Discord text, it changed. It says, it's okay to be a goy, but Helio sang it. Oy vey, it's okay to be goy. And so did I. I read it out, and then he sang it. And neither one of us included the word A. We never had the letter A in there. Totally odd.
That's really.
It is.
It's almost. I mean, they can pretty much kind of. You know, I mean, these electronic anomalies. I guess I don't know. I mean,
here's the funny thing, though, Helio.
I mean, what is exactly?
Aaron,
you saw what I found.
He copied it and put it on Facebook. Aaron did before it was changed. Cilantro did it on Twitter. He copied it. Everywhere that they posted it was also changed. So that means it was changed on all these different platforms simultaneously, as well as where I originally wrote it on Steemit. Steemit is supposed to be like blockchain technology. In other words, once you lock it in on Steemit, it's not supposed to be altered. It's supposed to be permanent. It's like Bitcoin. Once it's locked in, it's unchangeable. No one can erase it. No one can alter it. This just proves somebody has a way to alter it. And that was the hardest part for me to get around. I'm like, no effing way. I thought it was safe, but nothing is safe on the internet. That's what makes cryptocurrency, it's not safe at all. All you got to do is change one character. The key, you know, my key to log in, it's over 125 characters to log into Steemit, upper, lowercase mixture with numbers, 125 characters. You make one of them wrong, you could make one of them lowercase instead of uppercase, and it's not going to work. They altered just that one little thing.
Well, I don't know if you go through certain cryptocurrency agencies, you should be able to. I mean, it works the same way as banks, as far as I'm concerned. But
who do you call? Who do you call? Like, say you have a problem.
I don't trust any of them. I mean, it's I mean, why would you even have a cryptocurrency? That means, just the term itself actually kind of discredits the entire thing. Even though you can use it as a means of exchange, it's still just a pseudocurrency.
It was invented for transactions on the Silk Road, trading drugs, trading human trading, stuff like that.
Yeah, crypto. And a certain term, crypto means dead.
Well, crypto means cryptic. Like
cryptic, hidden.
Yeah.
I mean, it just means dead or some type of alternative, hidden knowledge or whatever. I mean, it's just it's just an alternate version of
cryptic.
our modern fake currency. I mean, it's like the currency that's out in the open. You can hold up a dollar bill, but it's just a note of debt.
But at least it's a paper that you hold in your hand. I don't like it. I don't like our system of paper money and fiat, Federal Reserve debt money. But at least it's some kind of physical paper that you have in your hand. As far as like if you had 100,000 paper bills, or you have some digits on a screen somewhere that could be erased, or you could be locked out of your crypto account. All they have to do is alter one digit in your key, and you can't get in.
If I'd have bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when I first heard about it, I'd have $500,000 right now.
You'd have more than that, but the point is we didn't. None of us did.
Yeah,
the first time I heard about it was like $3, and there was it was on Yahoo. Back when Yahoo used to have a comment section, and I would read the comment section, whatever. That's where the news was, because you could upvote and downvote stuff. Anyway, the guy said he would take Bitcoin as payment for a breast augmentation. I'm like, what the hell is Bitcoin? And then it kind of gave me a brief
Bitcoin for a breast augmentation.
Yeah, he was publicizing it. He did it for just shock value, right? Like tabloid journalism. And I was more concerned about what is this Bitcoin stuff. And it says it was cryptocurrency by Tashaki Komamoto, or whatever his name is, invented to conduct transactions on the Silk Road. It says people use it you could buy fast food with it or whatnot. And back then it was like $3 a Bitcoin. I'm like, wow. And it ran up to like $19,000. So had you bought $1,000 worth, you'd be very, very well. Yeah, you'd be a millionaire by
I think a guy paid like $1,000 of Bitcoin for a pizza, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I don't know really. I mean, it's like, at this point, I mean, that's just what I'm saying. I mean, I should have listened to Max Kaiser when I heard him on Alex Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but if you have $1,000,
10 years ago, I should have fucking listened to Max Kaiser when I heard him on Alex Jones. Ooh, and then I would be a millionaire right now.
I don't even know if Bitcoin's been out for 10 years.
It's not 10 years. It's pretty close. I mean, it's about 7, 8 years. But Max Kaiser used to go on Alex Jones. Did you ever listen to Alex Jones?
Yeah, I did.
Were you listening back then?
I listened to him sometime after 9/11.
I listened to him religiously, and Max Kaiser was coming on there going, Bitcoin is going to be the biggest thing. You guys got to get in Bitcoin. And I had $1,000. I should have bought $1,000 of Bitcoin. I'd be
But in your mind, you're like, I'm going to buy $1,000 worth of some coin that some guy just invented, and he's selling it to me for real money, and he could just go make another coin just like it and sell it to someone else. It's like he just basically printed money.
What's that about buy $1,000 of something with a fiat currency? That's what I was thinking. I was like, how the hell is this going to end up being anything?
So
which then I could in turn turn it into. I mean, everything that I have in front of me, my desk, my bed, everything that I have in front of me, my computer, everything is something that I bought with money. You know what I mean? So that's a solid substance. Money's not real, But everything
it's
that I
hindsight,
have
Helio.
is real.
Totally hindsight. You're like, oh, I should have bet 1548734 on the
I should
lottery.
have listened to Max Kaiser, even though he's a fucking shill too. You know, I should have just listened to him. I should just bought my $1,000 Bitcoin and like prayed to God that the Bitcoin would do something, and it did, but I didn't. So whatever.
Okay, but let's say
I'm
that,
not. Like you said, hindsight is always 20/20. So whatever.
and then you got to buy. You're like, look, I've got other stuff to pay for. That's all the money I have. Or say it's even half of your
At
money.
that time, I had the 1,000 to spare.
I get it, but you never want to lose it. So if you're like, say you have even 2,000, and that's 50% of all your money, you're like, well, I don't trust this. At least I have this money. I could buy tangible things. You could go buy beer. You could buy gas. You could buy food. You could buy shoes. You could buy tangible things with your fiat.
I know, but investors don't really think like that. You know, I mean, you know.
But you weren't an investor. You were just a gambler.
I was just like,
gamblers.
gamblers.
Yeah, right. You could have bought one of them. You could have bought one of them and had 20 grand. Why do you got to start with 1,000?
Oh man, I mean, 1,000 would have been easy for me to get rid of at that time.
I was honestly, I was going to buy like 50 or $100 worth for shits and giggles, but I would have sold it at $10. I just know myself. If I would have made it was $3 and it turned to 10, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm out. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, we didn't know. But
I'd be happy. I'm like,
whatever.
dude,
Bitcoin ain't worth a shit right now, so whatever.
I would be like, I bought $100 of this fake money and I turned it into $300 and I'd be bragging. I thought, I
used fake money to buy some other fake money. Woo!
It turned to $20,000 a piece. I had 100 of those.
I mean, I was
tokens.
looking into Forex at one time, and I actually spent a lot of time looking into it, Forex trading, and it can work, but you have to spend some time, doing it, but whatever. It is what it is. Forex trading is.
Forex. Right? What is Forex?
It's foreign exchange. You buy other currencies and in hopes that, it just sometimes it's second by second, sometimes day by day, minute by minute. You anticipate, currencies, changing value, and then you buy that amount of currency from different countries and stuff. Yeah, it's Forex. It's just foreign exchange. You just buy currency.
You know who made a ton of money? I think George Soros. He nearly broke the British pound. He was short selling it, and he drove it down so far, he almost crashed the pound single-handedly. But I think he was working with the Rothschilds. You know what I mean? I think they teamed up. Just like they teamed up to cause the Great Depression in America. They crashed the market because J.P. Morgan, Rothschild, they all got together, Goldman Sachs, all those big banks. They're like, look, on this day, we're all going to sell. Nobody buy. No matter what, nobody buy. And they created a panic. They knocked the price down because they held so many shares. They knocked it down. No one else, the little guy on the street, didn't know what was happening. They were getting margin calls and being forced to sell it. Nobody was buying, so it was like a giant air pocket. All the big boys, they just ran right over everybody. And then people started panic selling. Oh, no, the bottom's falling out. Get me out. Get me out. And they let it stay down there a few days, and they bought it all up really cheap. You know what I mean? They bought everything for pennies on the dollar. They bought the entirety of this country and bankrupted the middle class. That's when people were jumping out the window, like their whole life savings gone, wiped out. And then people were losing their farms because they were getting margin calls. The bank was like, hey, need that 100,000. I need it now. People didn't have it. They were forced to liquidate the farm.
What are you supposed to do with something like that? I mean, would you kill yourself over money? I mean, some people might if that's what they...
It's not just the money, though. They're homeless. They have nowhere to go. They didn't have welfare. They're not like, I'll get food stamps. They were destroyed. Like their home, their farm, everything's gone. They were destroyed. It's not just money. It's their life, man.
Was it theirs in the first place, or did the bank own it?
It was their hard-earned money that bought it. There was the sweat of their brow. They built it and bought that farm.
That's what the thing is. They they want you to think that their money was worth something, but it's not. They can
But
give
it
it to you.
was then.
The Lord
was,
giveth and the Lord taketh away, doesn't they?
money was gold and silver back then. Keep that
Was it? Who issued the currency that was backed by the supposed gold and silver? No, this is it's all a sham. This is not,
dude, the money was actually actual gold. It was a $20 gold eagle and a $10 gold
Oh yeah,
eagle.
well sometimes, yes, sometimes.
No,
yes.
no. Previous to 1933, the money was gold. They would give you a 1 ounce gold coin, 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce, and it was worth 20 US dollars. Or you could get 20 silver dollars, like Morgan silver dollars.
Or you would get a $20 bill that
or
was
paper, or paper. But you take that bill to any bank and they would give you the gold coin or 20 silver dollars. Any single bank, they had to honor it. That's why money was different back then. They couldn't print unlimited amount of silver dollars and gold coins. They made it illegal to own gold, and they took all the gold and they switched it for paper. So that way they stole all the gold from everybody in the United States because people had bills to pay.
That's the story.
Oh, it's the biggest robbery ever, man. 1933.
Yeah. I mean, how were they able to listen, man? Even in the Act of 1871 or the United States Constitution, they gave permission for the government to issue currency, and they would have a vault, so like Fort Knox. This is the gold. This is where, trust us. The gold is kept here. Our currency is secure. And all this stuff. I mean, so how can you trust what happened in 1933? You're saying 1933, they got rid of the gold standards as if it probably even existed in the first place.
No, not the gold standard was gotten rid of in 1970. They made it illegal to privately own gold.
The silver standard was gotten rid of in 1933 or 31. I think was
1933. They outlawed private ownership of gold over 2 ounces, so you could have your wedding ring and your
Nixon
gold.
got rid of silver.
Nixon got us off the gold standard. 1963, the silver was taken out of the money.
Well, either way, I mean, can you believe anything about that? The history of that, as if it had anything to do with?
Well, FDR got us. FDR made it illegal.
Got us.
It's 1933. 1933 is their Freemason favor number, and that's when they hit us.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, it's really a shame. And there's millions of people affected by, and just like, I have bills. I have notes of debt in my wallet that I can purchase items with, but it's not, it's not anything of a value. It's a piece of paper. Has to be inspected by the person that I hand it to.
Picture this, Helio. 1933. If you had $100, you would have 5 1-ounce gold coins, right? Or you'd have 100 silver dollars, like 100.
I can use those notes of debt to get actual gold, but
no, that was not notes of debt. It was actual currency. It was hard currency, and that's what money was back then. Money was currency. It wasn't
completely though. Not in every place, and that's why the notes of debt were created, and everyone was convinced that it was so. Like in biblical days, you have coins that is has a certain signia on it, and I mean, people could fake coins back then and be like, well, this is Caesar's coin.
Dude. It's hard to fake. Dude, the quality of the gold coins from that era, they're so good. You could see the edge, on the edge of the coin, there's little stars printed on, it's called a St. Gaudens. It's a 1-ounce gold coin. And it's back then, that's what $20 was worth. What does $20 buy you today? It buys you lunch. $20 buys you lunch, maybe for 2 people, but that was today. Now that same 1 ounce gold coin is worth about $1,300. So $20 back, 80 years ago, it's only worth shit. If you had $20 in gold, if you held that coin, if you didn't give it to the government, it would be worth $1,300. Now it's only worth $20. So if you had, let's say your grandparents had like $20,000. Let's say they had 1,000 of those coins, it would be worth 1.3 million today. Versus buying you a $20,000 car, you're like, I could buy a medium grade car with that 20 grand for my great grandparents, or you could be rich. You could have $1.3 million. Which would you rather have? Now they confiscated. You got to consider all the people. I don't know how many million people there was back then. Let's just say there was 100 million people, and they all had all differing amounts of money, but they confiscated all the gold from 100 million people, because that was what they used in circulation. They outlawed it. Okay, it's illegal to own this. Turn them in, and they melted it down. They said, we're going to add this to the Federal Reserve to back up our currency. Everybody must pitch in. We have to have solid money.
That's
we're going to
not
use
exactly
this
the way that it happened, though. They actually.
How did they get the gold? They made it illegal.
What gold? What gold are you talking about, Ron?
The gold was in people's pocket, you fucking idiot.
Oh, you calling me a fucking idiot because you can't tell me where the gold came from?
Everybody used that as money. They used it as money back then. Everybody used gold and silver.
When?
Okay?
When?
Before 1933, that was the money. That was the fucking money of the day.
Yeah,
and
sure
then
it was.
It was exchanged for that. After that, it's all a fucking joke. It's all paper. No,
you need to do some research, bro, man. You don't even know what the hell was going on.
Before 1933.
All right, yeah, we don't have to, we don't have to get upset.
All right, so you're saying people used gold coins or $20 gold-backed dollars?
Yes, real gold. It was real gold. And the paper was convertible for real gold at every bank.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yes. I'm not lying.
So it was like I'm not saying you're lying, Ron. I think you just misunderstand what the plan was, and they already knew this shit way before. I mean, you're kind of behind the game on the system, man. They gamed the system the whole fucking time, and you missed it, man. I mean, I used to think the same shit, but it's like.
No, they did. There was real gold in circulation. I seen the dollars. They were real gold coins, and they took them all. They took all of them and gave us paper. Everybody lost.
Well, but they also issued gold notes. They issued notes that were representative of gold as well. Before even 1933, they also the Federal Reserve Bank was already existed for 20 years before that. So they slowly collected all of the gold and issued people notes of debt for their gold once they turned it in, if they even had it.
We had a U.S. Treasury, and it became a Federal Reserve. That's the problem. And then they took away, okay, at least if you had a paper note or a gold coin, you can't print gold. And they took the gold out of circulation and replaced it with paper. That's what I'm saying.
You're missing my point, man. You're totally missing my point.
What's your point? The money was real. If you had $20 gold coin, it had intrinsic.
What money? Before 1933, what money were you talking? What are you talking about?
A St. Gaudine's gold coin. Everybody else understands it. St. Gaudine's gold coin is real gold. It's not funny money. It's real fucking gold. It's just as gold today as it was back then, and it was in your pocket, and that's what
very hard to find. So people were carrying around.
No, that's what they used. Yes, that's what they used. They used a 20 and a 10, and then they used silver dollars and silver quarters and silver dime. It was all precious
bills weren't printed like notes. These Federal Reserve notes weren't printed before 1933. Is that what you're saying?
No, they had gold certificates and silver certificates. If you wanted to carry $1,000 of paper bills, you would exchange them at any bank. It was a gold certificate. It wasn't a Federal Reserve note. It's a gold certificate.
And this gold certificate had gold in the paper.
They had to back it 1 for 1 ounce of gold. They had to be. They couldn't print it out of. If they had 100 ounces, they had to have $100 in bills. They couldn't overprint. They had to redeem it. It had to be redeemable. It's not the same as what they have now. That's what I'm saying. So they basically put a gun to your head and said, "Give us the gold and take the paper, Goyam."
That's my point. That was my point from the beginning. You know, it's just like they made you turn to paper. They made you turn to paper instead of carrying the actual gold coin.
Yes, because that's what
they stole it.
Yeah, they took them out of circulation. They took all the gold coinage out of circulation and made it illegal. It's like if they made gun ownership illegal retroactively. Here, hand in your guns.
Hey, McBrazzle, we do this shit all the time. That's why I won't run. We're supposed to yell at each other.
I get that, but he's still my brother, man. What I'm saying is they made it illegal. I'm just angry at how they did it because
dude, I am too, and I just want us to be on the same page, and I want everyone to understand, you know, throughout history how this shit came about. You know, and we need to understand it together. You know, everyone needs to come through the same process that we all did to understand these things together, and it even goes deeper than that. And this is why I'm breaking this shit down. It goes way fucking deeper than that, man.
What if they were equal? What if a 1 ounce gold coin was just as common as $100 bill? Nothing unusual. Wow, he's got 100. Okay. It was like someone pulling out that 1 ounce gold coin. Somebody might have had 10 of those in their pocket, like a rich man. It's like, wow, he's got 10 gold coins in his pocket. You know what I mean? And that, you know, it was worth only $20 of today's money. That's how much value our dollar has lost. That 1 ounce of gold, that was worth $20. So today, you know what I mean? Or 20, you could use silver dollars, 20 Morgan silver dollars. Each of those silver dollars is worth about $20 each. So it's like 20 times 20. So our money is only worth about 5% of what it was back then.
Well,
it's
lost 95%. That's the general worth, but they're so obscure. They're worth a lot more if you can actually find one, just because of the
rarity, right?
The rarity of value. They're not actually worth that much. Because it used to be worth something, you know, like you were saying, a $20 gold coin was a $20 ounce of gold. You know, which an ounce of gold now is what, $1,500?
$1,300. $1,300.
It's like, fuck, man.
So, imagine if you had, like your grandfather said, you know what? Let's say he had 1,000 of those. He had 20 grand, let's say. He would be a wealthy man from his day, but he had a will. And he's like, I'm going to give this to my great grandson, Helio, when he becomes of age, when he turns 25. And you're like, okay, great grandfather left you 1,000 gold coins. And you're like, shit, how much are they worth? One of those coins might be worth 50,000 because of the rarity of it. If you have a 1933 gold eagle, it was worth over $1 million because that was the year they melted them down and they never really got into circulation. So the 1933 St. Gaudens is the most rarest coin ever. Very few got out into circulation, maybe only 20, and they're worth like 1.5 million each. So it depends what the mintage was on your coin, but basically people would exchange them just like paper money. It's like, here you go. Silver and gold was the only money accepted in the day. They didn't accept Federal Reserve banknotes. The people would not accept it. It was people were armed.
Well, I mean, how are we going? I mean, there's a lot more to that as well. I mean, when the United States was founded, I mean, are we going into United States history, or are we going to talk about world history, or are we often get into flat Earth or whatever? I mean,
I only want to keep it, 1933. That's as far back as I need to go because that's when everything changed. When you could print paper for gold.
Well,
that is incredible.
No, it changed in 1913. Which was right after World War I or during World War I, and then it led up to 1933, which led into World War II. There's a lot more to understand about this because you think the world wars aren't related to the monetary system. Everyone has to understand this, or else we're never going to get through this shit.
The banksters created those wars.
Yes, of
but what
course
I'm
they
saying,
did.
let's say you had in your possession, you had this in your possession. They're like, turn over the gold. Like you could have
Hey,
had those
if you had 5 turnips and you had that's all you had to survive, and someone handed you a gold piece, would you trade that?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I'd go eat something
What if
else.
you had nowhere to go to buy any more turnips?
If you're in the desert and that's all the food, yes, you keep the food. Yeah, you can't eat gold.
I rest my fucking case.
Well, what I'm saying is they robbed the country for paper. That was the biggest hoist ever because you can't just keep printing gold. And that's the reason you can inflate currency. But gold held its value for a long time. The price of gold stayed stable until the 60s. It stayed really fucking cheap. For whatever reason, it stayed cheap.
I know. I mean, of course. I mean, they're going to spike the market. I mean, and to be honest, I feel like in the near future, not to be a doomsdayer for everyone, the market is going to crash hardcore again like it did in 2008. And, everybody be prepared. Whatever way you can, it's gonna crash again. It hasn't even spiked yet, but it's gonna crash really low again, like it did in the Great Depression. But whatever.
What goes up, it must come down.
But it hasn't even gone up yet. But it's gonna go like it's kind of gone up after the last depression in 2008. Now it's gonna go way down. And
do you know how high the stock market?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And even though Trump's president or whatever, everybody can fucking prop him up as a fucking, well, he's got to build the wall. We're going to miracle and all that shit. No, it's coming. It's coming down. They've already been planning this for a very, very, very long time. So
they're probably going to do it. But I'm saying, like, if everybody's ready for it, if you did have some gold, you might want to hold on to that because.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't get gold, but it's not money. Gold's not money. It can be money. It can be valuable, but like I said, if I had 5 turnips and you had a gold piece, and I'm starving, I have nowhere else to get turnips.
Okay,
your money is just fucking. You might as well eat your money because I'm going to eat my fucking turnips.
Okay, let's say the guy with the bag of rice, right? People are starving. He's got a 50-pound bag of rice. You got a gold coin. The guy next to you has a wheelbarrow full of paper. What's he going to sell? He's going to sell it to the guy with the gold or the wheelbarrow full of paper. It's like, oh, I got a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills. I'm sorry, I want this. You know what I mean? It's going to be, and I don't anticipate it getting that bad where people are eating rats.
Probably not. I mean, that's an extreme example. I mean, to be honest.
But I'm saying, like, if things got really bad and money just took a shit and all paper money was worthless, yes, the price of precious metals,
or even gold, and silver,
they will spike. They will spike because paper currency will have no value. So relative to that, it will keep its buying power. Say you wanted to buy a home, you're like, oh man, I could buy a house, and I have 1,000 gold coins, or let's say you even had 100 gold coins, you could buy a house for like 10 gold coins because the gold will be so expensive. Let's say an ounce of gold goes to like $10,000.
Well, and that's why they dive the markets this way, so that they can kick people out of their houses, put them on the streets, or put them in a lower incomes. And they're like, oh, I'm in this house, I'm renting now. I used to own a place. And they buy that shit up, or they destroy them with dew weapons, like in California, like we've been talking about. And they just build a path for the, for whatever rail system they're trying to build out in California. You know what I'm saying?
We thought we had it bad, dude.
It's freaking horrible, man.
Things are bad, but at least we have knowledge. They were blind, dude. They were blindsided. They just had a newspaper, and the newspaper was rigged by them. The people had no way to get information. So they're like, oh shit, what just happened today? Stock market crashed 500 points. And back then, if the stock market was only 1,000 points and it crashed 50%, you just lost half your money in one day. People are like, oh shit.
Well, so the next prior to that, some people, like all the conspiracy theorists at work, would be like, man, they're going to take our pensions, man. And everybody's like, no, man, they can't do that shit. And then, holy shit, everybody lost their fucking pensions. Man, and all the conspiracy theorists were right all of a sudden, right? All the conspiracy theorists were right. I don't know. I mean, all of the years that they took everybody's pensions after these fucking market crashes, man. Happens all the fucking time to everybody.
I think
all the pensions are underfunded.
Yeah, Chicago has one of the biggest unfunded pensions.
Yeah, hey, wait, hey, if anybody's still on the pan, me and Ron have been going on long enough. Listen, anybody that's still here that wants to say something about what we've been talking about, all the pensions are underfunded. They're lying to us, man. You don't have any pensions, man. Everybody's fucking lied to.
My city declared bankruptcy. Detroit declared bankruptcy because they couldn't afford the pensions. Just, like firsthand knowledge. If anyone else, Chicago's probably going to be next because they're in the same boat, but worse. They were in worse shape than Detroit.
Well, yeah, if you work for the government, you're in worse shape than most corporations, honestly.
Well, because there's no tax base. The tax base was eroded, and then all the manufacturing went overseas, and the neighborhood went to shit, and the house values plummeted, and no tax base and big pensions. Right now, Chicago still has high real estate values, whereas Detroit doesn't. They still have a tax base in Chicago, but those people pay through the nose, man. Chicago's very expensive to live in. And Detroit's not. That's, this is where I could afford to stay, but I'd like to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody should be able to live where they want to live. I mean, this shouldn't necessarily be that way. And yeah, we can cry and whine about it. And people say, well, you should have done better in your life, and this was like, whatever.
I'd like to live in Malibu, but it's not going to happen.
I'd like to live in utopia. Shit. Like I was talking, you were talking about, man, back before the mud floods, they had utopia and free energies and all that shit. But I mean, yes, of course, that would be the greatest. That'd be the greatest thing. Everybody, really, a free trade environment where, a common interest was involved. We don't all have to believe or think the same thing, but we have a common interest and a common understanding about our lives and all that stuff. But
if we were a community, look what we could build if we didn't have to pay for electricity or property tax. We're like, hey guys, let's all get together and improve the roads. Okay, what can I got this much, you got this much. Everybody kick in.
Let me ask you this, Ron. Why do you think the wars were started? Was it completely over money?
No, I'll tell you, it was
because money doesn't exist, right?
They wanted to get. Well, real estate does. They buy things. They want to own land.
Yes, property does exist.
They want to own more land. They want to own more land, and then they wanted to destroy things.
Can you own any property, Ron?
Not me. The elites own it. The elites own it.
That's what I'm saying. Can anybody, even wealthy people, own property without paying taxes on it?
Depends how wealthy you are, yeah. The wealthier you are, the more shit you can own. Ted Turner is the largest private property owner in the United States. Oprah doesn't pay her property tax in her house, I think in Malibu.
She has doesn't even pay any taxes at all.
Yeah, she cheats. She says it's a vacation home, and that the price of the property tax goes down like 75%. So she, as rich as she is, she's not paying her fair share.
If I had enough money as Oprah, man, I'd buy my own fucking island and just disappear.
Yeah, I wish she would disappear.
I wish I could disappear. That's what I'm saying. I'd just fucking disappear. I'd like get my own island, figure out free energy, and I just have my own free energy island in the middle of the
have it.
Ocean.
We do have free energy technology. It's not being utilized.
I don't have it, but whatever.
No, humanity, it's been invented already, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it's like, they use like magnetism, through generators, like coal-powered plants or whatever. Couldn't you just use the waves of the ocean to move shit back and forth, which is something that happens naturally, to generate magnets spinning around just like you would fire up coal power plants? Couldn't you just use the ocean to generate that? It moves back and forth.
They do have
They do
something
it,
like
but why couldn't you do that everywhere? I mean, it's just like the ocean moves back and forth. You just put some little place there that spin the fucking magnet around the thing and
Like a water
generates
farm instead
he
of a
just
wind
generates
farm.
the fucking electricity. Tides in, tides out. Spins it up, spins it back. Generates electricity. Why the fuck do you have to burn coal to do that? It's fucking retarded, man. It's like,
maybe they're not.
no. Well, somebody probably already thought about that. It was like, oh, no, we can't make enough fucking money off of that.
What if they're not burning the coal and just charging us? Because I've seen something with these airplanes. It looks like they're running off compressed air. What if they're not? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's running? They're generating this electricity for free and just charging us. They're saying that they're using.
More than likely that could be happening. Yeah. I mean,
I've
just
seen
like
that.
the nuclear power plants we have. I mean, there's two nuclear power plants in Arkansas. One in Jonesboro, not Jonesboro, Russellville.
I think we got one in Ohio, Fermi. There's the
There's
Fermi
only
too.
one. It's in Russellville. It's not far from me. I mean, I drive by there and there's big water vapor coming out. It's next to, I think it's Lake Dardanelle. I think it's the name of the lake. But they're always next to a lake just to cool the processing plant. But no, as far as
We have
nuclear power, I don't think they're necessarily developing nuclear power.
Hey, did someone want to get in? I just wanted to get that Detroit gig, because we did have to file bankruptcy. Is anyone else in that situation? Are you from Chicago, New York, Los Angeles? You'll probably be next.
Hey, let's dude.
Did Jason want to add something? Jason, were you going to say something before?
Hey, everybody. Hey, I'm gonna take a break here.
Up in the Discord.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to add, but I'm always very interested in talk about finance because in it for like the past 10 years, and I'm still trying to get a grasp on all of it. From what I can tell, there's just so much corruption, attempt to try to accumulate wealth, and I know, just me personally, I don't want my life to be remembered as like a pursuit of wealth, because I just don't see the value in that, because at the end of the day, like it seems like it's just a beast system. And
hey, but if you're good at it, Jason, I would tell you take advantage of it right now, because it's not going to last very long. If you do understand it and you can make some money off of it right now, go ahead and do it now.
But my point is that if you go on that pursuit, it doesn't lead to anything good. Like,
it can lead to something good for your family if you're good at it. It can lead to something good for your family directly if you're good at because I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm the last doomsdayer, but I'm telling you this, the doomsday.
Have you got any skills?
As far as financially is coming, man. I mean, for everyone, I think the doomsday is coming.
You just said it's going to crack.
Helio, my point is that I think that the system is rigged. So I feel like the best way to address that is to opt out of the system. I don't know if you've read Atlas Shrugged, but I know some people consider that a cult book, but like for me, the idea of going Galt has a tremendous appeal to me, because when I look around and I see a lot of evil, I feel like the best, aside from, I do think that the best way to attack their system is to like just opt out. I think ultimately that means not paying taxes, but I'm not trying to. But I think that's what it'll come to, is that you'll eventually have to realize that you don't want to support, wars in the Middle East, wars like against people that I got no problem with people that, that are practicing other religions and shit like that. I'm sure like the people in the chat, like I think we're all on the same page, but like this system that we are necessarily in just seems evil. So like, why should I try to accumulate? I don't know. I just feel like it's just.
I'll tell you why, Jason. Let's say you did. Let's say you were one of the lucky few and you became worth 100 million. And you're like, man, I know some friends of mine, they could really use some help in the flat earth community getting the word out. I'm going to spend $5 million on advertisement. I'm going to buy billboards. I'm going to launch balloons. I'm going to hand out flat earth frisbees. I'm going to raise awareness. I'm going to even put on a show. We're going to put on a national show on a radio like Helio and Ron. We're going to go national. We're going to have like internet radio and then even some AM radio. And we're going to like try and raise awareness to take down the New World Order. We're going to reveal that there's a group of people at the top concealing controlling these governments. They do control the knowledge of the shape of the earth, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. They're also suppressing cures for diseases. They're suppressing free energy. They're really keeping us on a slave plantation. So if you did have money, none of us have any money to where we could get out. Maybe you could start the next social media platform where we have free speech, and then everybody would go there. Just like MySpace and Facebook. Facebook killed MySpace. Like, you could make the next Facebook and we would have a place for free speech and take them out, or the next YouTube. That's what money's good for. It's not always evil.
I just don't think that it's possible to win playing under their rules.
But we could destroy them, dude. Here's how we take them out. If everybody, when I say everybody, I mean critical mass. If critical mass is 20 or 30% of the population, that's what we need to reach. Let's say 30% of all the people, 100 million Americans, wake up tomorrow and they know the earth is flat, they know NASA lies, and they stop paying their taxes. They say, you know what? This government is completely corrupt. I know 9/11. I know how it went down. You're all lying to me. I'm not going to comply. I'm not letting my sons go to war for your fucking shit. And then it's going to spread. Once you hit that critical mass, it spreads rapidly. Like the fall of the Soviet Union, people thought they'd never see the day. They're like, no, Russia's too powerful. It'll never fall. And they fell overnight without the internet. There could be a velvet revolution overnight that goes across the earth like a flash of light. And that's why they're censoring YouTube. They are scared. They know the numbers. They know how many people are awake. That's why they're fucking with people like me, because I know, and I was too effective, and they're fucking with me. And that's what other people too, they're fucking with. But we have to be more determined than they are, because this is it. It either happens now or they put in their system and we're done forever. And that's kind of like, I put my life on hold right now. I don't care about making money. This is all I do, is social media, raising awareness, because there is no tomorrow if we can't stop them. If we don't stop them now, it's done. There's no future for any of us. I mean, I wouldn't want to have $100 million in their slave system. Once they implement, I don't even want to live in that world.
Ron, it sounds like we're on the same page. I mean, you just admitted that you're not focused on earning money because you feel like your talents is better used elsewhere.
It is, because there's so few people that have this information that I was lucky enough to acquire. Not enough people put in this amount of hours I have. And it's like, okay, I could go be pounding nails on a roof, making $1,000 a week, or whatever. Am I any better off? I'm still going to be poor. At the end of the day, I'm still going to be poor. So what's the point? I'd rather wake America. I'd rather wake people up. It's like the difference in how I'm living. Yes, I would eat better and have better clothes, but I don't care about that. It means nothing. It means nothing if there's no tomorrow. We have like 2 years to fix this. And people say Trump he's Israel's cocksucker, whatever. But at least we have a respite. I think we have a respite before we get a despot. If we get someone like Hillary Clinton, it's over, dude. It's all over. They're coming after us. They're shutting us down. They're going to put the credit score like China. You know what I mean? It's going to be tyrannical. And you think it can't get any worse? It can get a lot worse. This is the opening. This is the beginning. You know what I mean? This is the opening scenes of the digital book burning. It's going to get a lot worse unless we can coalesce and push back. We have to push back. And I would like it if I had a rich friend. That would be great. I mean, you know how much good we could do with just one rich person like that? And you don't even have to acquire that much wealth. but just maybe you know some other rich people and you get together and you're sick of the direction. Because these people, if they knew how evil it was, they don't want their kids growing up in this environment where the so-called elites are raping and cannibalizing children. They don't want to live in that world. Like even the cops that saw the Anthony Weiner's hard drive and they were throwing up, you know, and they're like, you better do something. And nothing has been done. It's been 2 years and they still haven't released it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've given up on that shit. That's why I'm going about other ways. It's like, what good is it for me to sit in that room and listen to Trust the Plan, read the drops, and then some asshole talk about aliens for 3 hours at a time? I'm done with it.
Again, I just go back to I can't get over the fact that I do believe that the pursuit of money is a trap. Like, do you really think God created you to make money? I mean, I know that's not true.
What's that?
I don't know. I'm just saying that, I don't know. Money can do a lot of things, but it doesn't make you happy. I know that.
Yeah, I get it. Money is the root to all evil. It's like the love of money. We all need it. We all need it, regardless of what it is. If it's a debt, if it's debt money, we still need this paper. We need paper to put food on the table, to keep the lights on, buy shoes for your kids, buy clothes for you. Still need the money. You need the paper money. It's all part of the beast system. You want to have beer and cigarettes? Guess what? You got to have green paper, right? We're stuck. Right. We're stuck in this system.
Yeah, it ties us to this material realm, and it ties us to like materialism. Like we need money to buy the things that we can't survive. So we're like tied to this material thing.
How much better off would we be, like, if all of our money was real money? Let's say it was pre-1933 and we were all paid in precious metals. It's like these are United States gold coins and they're real gold and real silver. At least we would have something of tangible value. Like when the money in Zimbabwe went crazy, all they had was paper. The Weimar Republic in Germany, when they had runaway inflation, all they had was paper. But in a runaway society, the money that you earn, even if it's only a couple $100s, it's still real. It still has tangible value to anybody. Anybody in China or any part of the world, they will definitely accept gold and silver. China, India, it's universal currency. So it's always going to have some value. Even copper pennies, you should hoard your copper pennies. Like the coinage, the real coinage is worth more than the metal, or like the monetary value for copper pennies. It's about 3 cents if you got a copper penny, and it was up to 5 cents. So if you had like a coffee can full of copper pennies, or like one of those water jugs, those 5-gallon water jugs full of copper pennies, that would be worth like 5 times its face value. So if you had $500, it would be worth $2,500. And let's say money does go to like, if it goes to zero, those copper pennies, maybe we'll be transacting with copper pennies. Like, okay, I need a dozen eggs. I'll give you a dozen copper pennies or something like that. I don't know what the value will be, but you know what I mean? It will be more valuable than $100 bills. One copper penny will be worth more than a $100 bill because the paper will have zero value and the copper will have some value, if you get what I mean. Just because copper has intrinsic value, it's a semi-precious metal. Even aluminum, copper, aluminum, steel, any metal has value. Now that we'd be really bad, things would have to get really fucking bad for that. But I don't anticipate it. I don't want to see it that bad. But it was funny under Obama, 22 ammunition, it went from $10 per brick of 500 to like $50 because there was a shortage on 22 ammo and people were selling it for top dollar, 5 times its value. So if you were like a hoarder and you had like 100 bricks of 22 ammo, you could have made a nice little profit if you sold them off at the right time. And in a shit hit the fan situation, ammunition will be worth money. Food and ammo and water. But I don't want to see it get that bad. It doesn't need to get that bad. All we have to do is we have to wake up critical mass. Like you see the yellow vest movement, it's a race against time. Before they could shut down the internet, we have to succeed in waking people up. And it's an uphill battle, and we can't be fighting with each other over small shit. We shouldn't be. We're all on the same team. We all want the same thing for, we all want to see the same future. Are you still there, Jason?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know what the future will bring. And like, if you were to ask me my view on things, like you would probably assume that I've been wrong for a long period of time, but I feel like we've been in an economic depression since 2008, and that around us is not real, because if you try to look at how much debt just our government took on with the bailouts and these bullshit wars, you factor all that in, and the fact that we can't really afford to pay all these social programs like Social Security and Medicare and stuff like that, that I think history is going to show that in a depression, we haven't gotten out of the depression, because normally what happens in a depression is bad debts are written off. But what happened in 2008 was all of those bad debts, those fraudulent debts that were created by banks making fraudulent loans, that money got transferred to the government's balance sheet. And while that didn't break the system, all it did, in my view, is it made it so that the next time things, truly do turn again, that it's going to be even worse than last time. But, all saying that stuff, I'm actually very optimistic for the future, because the math and try to do my own analysis, I feel like the only thing that must happen and will happen is what's known as a debt jubilee. Like, that which can't be repaid won't be repaid. And there will come a point where people will wake up and realize that, they've been sold a bill of goods that, didn't work out. And eventually it's going to be kind of like the biblical times when debts were written off. Debt. I'm hopeful that there comes a time where you become free of that, because, I think it has to happen.
What if we had a debt jubilee and then we had money with no interest? We didn't have usury. We got rid of usury. You know what I mean? Like we had state money. Like every state issued its own money. You have Iowa money, I have Michigan money, and maybe they have exchange rates, but it's backed by the state. Each state issues its own, and they can't just arbitrarily print money that they don't have. You know what I'm saying? They just, I think or maybe they can. Maybe they can issue bonds, but it has to be done within reason and accounted for. The problem is our government is so big, and it's done by design, to where the government we were turned into communism. They kept growing the government so large that the government is such a huge percentage of the entire GDP. It wasn't supposed to be like this. They keep adding new things, Department of this, Department of that, Department of Homeland Security. They keep adding more departments and more bureaucracy and more, you know what I mean? More and more debt. And yeah, they're burying us in all these programs. And we like to go on about NASA. Yeah, NASA percentage-wise is not a big percentage of the entire government, but they've spent over $1 trillion since they've started. When you think of that, $1 trillion plus compounded interest, what could we have done? What if we had $1 trillion debt jubilee to the people who really need it? Okay, here's $1 trillion. Let's spread it out. Get people on their feet. Give every man, woman, and child $10,000 to get them off their feet, to help people get going. Something like that would be better spent than just pissing it away into fake space programs.
NASA lies.
I thought, like, I did the budget, and I was like, you could give 400,000 people $50,000 a year for NASA's budget. So let's say you had homeless veterans and stuff, wounded veterans. You could take 400,000 of them and give them 50 grand a year. with that budget of NASA. There'd be no homeless veterans and all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot you could do with it. Like, people are cannon fodder for the New World Order. I feel bad for the people who were deluded. I was almost one of them. I did almost join the military out of like patriotism, but it would have been the stupidest thing. All you are is a enforcer for Zog. You know what I mean? Like the New World Order. You're just a cannon fodder. Yeah, definitely end the Federal Reserve. What's up? What's up, JJ? We got JJ here. Did you see? Were you here early, Jason, when I showed that thing about the Federal Reserve? That poem I had. Somebody copied it, and it wasn't. They didn't intentionally do it. YouTube copied it, and they put it under like a random person's name. Because when I clicked on it, I was going to give them a thumbs up and say, "Yay, thanks, man," or whatever, and it went away. The comment changed as soon as I clicked on it.
So weird.
I know. I never seen nothing like it, dude.
I just showed up shortly before you started yelling at Helio.
That was about the gold money. But we did have real money, dude. It's like, it was real. You know what I mean? Like today, if you had that coin instead of the paper, it was real. And everybody used it in their day-to-day business. Like when you went to the store, you pulled out your wallet, you used gold and silver until then. You know what I mean? That's what they used. It was just currency. It was nothing more. And that's what people expected. They didn't really trust paper. You know, it took a lot for them to trust paper. And most of the stores would not accept paper money.
If you look at what the central banks are doing, they basically for like the past 10 years, they've been accumulating gold, buying gold. So I kind of feel like, I'm just a lonely individual worker, but I think that the system is going to be gold because essentially we have this financial system that it's basically a Ponzi scheme. All Ponzi schemes eventually collapse. So I feel like after that happens, there will be like a transition period where it might be rough. But I feel like once you get past that, I think that it'll go back to a more honest system, which would be backed by gold. The only real problem is that there's a lot of gold in private hands. So, like the Rothschilds family, I feel like they're probably positioned well for, the next system because they probably got trillions in gold.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We have to get that gold because it's really our gold. They colluded with FDR to confiscate the gold in this elaborate scam. First they crashed the stock market, and then they create a national panic, and then they get FDR. Trust me. Everybody turn in your gold. And by the way, if we catch you with gold, we're going to put you in jail. Oh, shit. And it's like, now it's not accepted as currency. When you go to the general store to buy your bread, they don't take gold because gold is illegal. You better not get caught with it. That would be like going to the store and buying something with drugs like heroin or cocaine. It would be just as illegal. So it's like, okay, I have to eat. I have $100 in gold, but I have to eat. I have to exchange it for this paper, this new paper, because the government said so, which was highly illegal what they did. So ounce for ounce, if we could find out how much of that went away into those private hands and somehow get it back, it'd be difficult. And then prove that your grandparents were robbed, or even if they had lived in this country when that happened, and then give each of those people a slice of it. Like, let's say you could trace your ancestry back then and say, okay, we're going to just spread it out between the people who were here then, the people that got robbed. And we don't know who had what, but we're going to give you back an equal portion. And some people will be beneficial for them and some people not so much, but we're just going to redistribute it.
Hey, Ron, better. As you're talking about
stack some bricks. We'll take some regular concrete bricks, and then we'll put on top of them gold. We'll stack gold bars on top of it, so even a couple layers thick. So all you see is gold.
They could even use like fake gold. Like what's that metal that looks?
Could be brass. Yeah,
gold.
Could be brass. Yep.
They call it fool's gold. What is
They totally could have done something like that. You know what Canada was doing? Canada was selling tungsten.
Check one. Hey, I fixed it. Don't worry about it. I fixed it. It's all good. It should be good now. No, it was me. Hold on. Maybe it isn't back. God damn it. No. Hold on. Let me try this.
Hey. At least you can make carbide
tooling.
It's back.
It's back now.
Let's get that tungsten.
It's Helio.
Yeah, it's
Where's
back.
Helio, the tech guy?
Yeah, well, I came back and I couldn't hear anybody, and then I was like trying to fix it. And I unplugged it, and then I plugged it back in. It should be good now.
This shit ain't cheap, Ron. You're right.
Can everyone hear us now?
Well, it's worth the price of gold now. It's like they're fucking.
So say hello.
Hello,
YouTube.
Well,
we got no sound here, Leo.
Can hear us
I use finishers and shit. I got a 7-Up cup full of that shit right now. It's probably
$110.
7-Up
cup full of fucking Copenhagen
it's just
spit.
a cup. Well, 7-Eleven, I meant.
7-Eleven. Dude, I got a coffee can, a Folgers coffee can full of tungsten carbide bits.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Are we back?
One of them is still.
Hey, wait,
a lot of them are still sharp, Mike.
Chat,
They're still usable bits, so I don't want to scrap them.
Yeah, he's like 7-Eleven cup. He's like, bro, I got a.
Yeah, it's a Slurpee cup.
Is it the
what size? 32.
Yeah, it's a big one, dude.
I do have something to say. I mean,
$1.80.
I mean,
that shit ain't cheap, man. A cup full of carbide can be some money.
I mean, what is money, Michael? In your opinion, let me ask you, Michael.
High-speed steel toolbars.
Michael, what in your opinion is money, Michael? Can you hear me?
You know what
Mike?
I had? High-speed steel, Mike. I had high-speed steel solid drill bits. They were like 2 inches in diameter, a foot long, thick.
Sorry,
it was like it was not a really good steel.
Hey, Michael, what in your opinion is money? What do you mean by money? Like, if there was no notes of debt or gold coins, what
stuff you would barter for that you use every day, just like it used to be. Building materials, food supplies, clothing. Maybe you make wicker chairs, and I grow corn, so I trade you some corn for some wicker chairs, bro.
Yeah, and to be honest, and this is where it kind of started with the banks, and even when there were gold coins issued, they were issued from a bank, right?
Yeah. Yeah, gold and silver certificates. Yeah.
Well, even with the coins, yeah. Even if you
Before
had
all
an
that,
ounce of gold.
even a trade was valuable. You know, like blacksmithing. You could do some blacksmithing work to feed your family. You know.
So you could make somebody a sword or some type of farming equipment. And,
yeah. A wheel for
since
their
you were a
Amish
blacksmith,
wagon.
you could. They would build you a table for your house, and you'd trade, a freaking something that you could use on your farm to.
Dude, if you asked a kid today to build you a table or a chair, or even an adult, man, like, there's a reason why grandmas used to crochet, knit, and sew, because they made their own damn clothes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we're getting. I think we're getting way far off of the plantation, if you might say that.
Yeah.
With this monetary thing, as if I don't discount any means of trade. It's a common means of trade. A gold coin or a silver coin having a monetary value. It's a common understanding that we would use it, but it only has value because you relate that value to that coin, whether it's gold or it's a freaking arbitrary certificate of debt that we use now.
Right.
I mean,
if you were going to use it for general purpose in your life, it only had the value for what you want to make out of it. And
that's like someone said, oh, that's when you and Helio were yelling at each other, me and Ron. I mean, and it's not that I don't think Ron understands this. I just want to make that point that anything that's of value to you is it's of value to you, and you can use it as a means of exchange. I mean, it's not I don't have to have a note of debt from an arbitrary government that I subject myself to be able to trade between me and another person.
I'd go back to the barter system any day, bro. Quit paying taxes. Hell yeah.
Well, and it's not about taxes either.
That's true. They can't tax that. Like, what if you you trade some kind of service, like, I don't know, fixing, whatever.
Well, to be honest, I can trade my notes of debt to someone else without being taxed. I can build something for someone. They can give me $50, and then I can go spend it on something without being taxed.
A debt certificate used to say, for any debt, public or private. Now you can go to jail for paying a private debt. If you're paying your dope dealer or something. But it doesn't.
I've bought plenty of drugs, marijuana or whatever on, with cash.
Yeah. I would just sell drugs, or I would sell food. I could cook.
You can sell food. I mean, dude, I buy
so much chili.
I mean, well, you live in New York, but I mean, some people live in
my
California.
Chili is currency.
You can buy fucking burritos from somebody out of their trunk.
Yeah, they got food trucks, dude. They got food trucks. You know what? They got not even food trucks. Like, there's this lady around my neighborhood, and this Mexican lady, and she makes these tacos that'll blow your mind. And she sells them.
Best burritos, way better than Taco Bell, man.
Right on the street.
Oh, fucking $5 burrito, man.
Yeah, dude. Not even $5.
She'll come to my work, fucking.
I'd love to try that.
Big fat ass burrito, with
right off the street corner.
But
she made it in her home. It's so fresh and just.
We got a guy calls himself Tommy Dogs. He's got a
Tommy Dogs.
He's got a hot dog cart on a 3-wheel bike. Like an ice cream cart.
I love it.
And he posts on the internet, moving from corner to corner, because the city fucks with him.
Hey, you're not allowed to sell food outside the government.
He's hustling out there, man. Hustling them dogs.
I buy his dog. Shit, my crew loves him. We invite him to the job site. Just park over here, buddy.
Are they Coney Island dogs? Do they taste like Coney Island dogs, man?
Oh, he makes the chili dog. He sells a chili dog, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like I live in a town where there's a lot of Mexicans, man. I'm telling you, man, this woman like pulls up in I don't know what kind of car, like a freaking Toyota Corolla or whatever, and she'll open her trunk and she'll have a whole fucking trunk full of burritos. They're freaking good, man.
Fajitas.
Yeah.
$5, man, and she'll give you some green salsa with it, man. It's so
the
good.
green sauce.
They're making their way here.
Dude, so
we got a few
good.
taco trucks in Jackson now.
It's like, man, I envy that, man. I should be doing that shit. I could make
for
some
real.
burritos just as good, man. I should be doing that shit.
Yeah, but it's like, who wants to be asked to do
Taco Bell ain't got shit on a taco truck, bro. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Oh, you know that green
burritos?
sauce?
It's like, who doesn't?
Dude, that green sauce, try dipping French fries into that. It'll blow your mind.
Man, this tech guy that we got, it's Jesus. He sells a 3.5 pound burrito, man. That's a fucking lunch.
Holy shit, 3.5 pounds? That's lunch for 3 people.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's a big son bitch. Yeah. When you're doing asphalt Helio, you just eat half of it, wrap it back up in the aluminum foil, and throw it on the dash. It'll still be
eat the
hot.
rest of it on the way home.
Yeah, it'll still be hot next time you want to eat it.
Yep. Dude. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, I mean, we had like 30 people watching earlier when we were like going in on the Federal Reserve or whatever. But I think people need to really understand what the hell is going on with this, man. I mean, what is
do we have
this
sound?
What are you doing
for? What's this life for? I'm just playing.
Oh, is that Creed? Who's
Yeah, no, that's just the most horrible fucking
Nah,
song.
I'm not gonna lie, yo. Some of the guitar riffs that they had, man. Damn, yo. Yeah, they were pretty good.
I can't believe I just did that. I hate that fucking band.
Of all the Creed songs, man.
No, but it's just like, what in the world is going on? I mean, and is we can sit on here and bitch and whine all day about the monetary system and what it should have been and what it could have been and what the dollar is based on and what it should be based on. I mean, which has never been, it was based on gold at one time, but it was still a monetary system. But the same controllers controlled it, so it's really kind of pointless. In my opinion, it's kind of pointless to say, "Hey, let's go back to the gold standards for the monetary system."
You didn't see.
You know what? You know what's funny? If you look into the Constitution, you'll find out that the government
that goddamn score
built into the Constitution is a fiat system that the government is allowed to issue currency without backing.
Oh, no. Congress has the power of the purse, so they have the ability of coinage.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, they do. They just it's not enforced. They're ran.
The Federal Reserve Act is unconstitutional. Like it is.
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, but that's an amendment that supersedes their ability to issue currency. So the Federal Reserve is in control of the currency now. That's what I'm saying. So the current currency is unconstitutional, but it's not illegal. If that makes any sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense that we've allowed this to happen, with by them controlling the media and the educational system. They've managed to squeak by and get away with murder. like controlling our currency and all this.
Starting wars over it.
Yeah, we've been blindsided by these schools, and it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But now it's when we had that Ron Paul and the Fed. It's too bad that fizzled out because we were gaining traction, and we need to revive that. Like a yellow vest movement and the Fed. We need to be out there demanding it and waking it up and telling people that all these wars were Federal Reserve wars, telling them they crashed the stock market and took all of our money, all of our great grandparents' money and grandparents, whatever, and they gave us this debt money and usury.
Yeah, it's just like when these presidents become president, if they were ever legitimate in the first place, and all of these elections were legitimate, the first thing they do is assign a former Federal Reserve head as the arbiter of finance in America. So they perpetuate. It should be anybody that understands any realm of finance, unless they're, which most people are, most affluent people are prone to not give a fuck as long as they make much more money and continue their affluent lifestyle, which there are hundreds of thousands of them. So why would they not vote for someone that's going to perpetuate this? It's not like we're trying to.
Voting doesn't really work. I mean, just think of the fact that we have like family dynasties. Because if you live in a country with, supposedly 300 million people, does it make sense that the best candidates are from the Bush family or the Clinton family?
Well, even locally, even like state governments. I mean, the candidates go to the colleges and they get their degrees. Not to say that they're not smart, but that's not the purpose. The purpose, as far as when it comes to them being elected to public office, their purpose isn't necessarily for the best interest of the people of the state, which sometimes, I wouldn't support some of the lower class people too, but I've been lower class my entire life, but I've been trying to move myself towards the middle. So and I've been lower, what you might consider lower class my entire life. So
white trash.
Yeah, I'm white trash. I've been white trash my entire life, but so I'm trying to move toward the middle, where a lot of people that I meet wouldn't suspect that of me, but yeah, I've been poor my entire life. Never known anything that had anything to do with affluence, no whatsoever. I have no idea what that's like.
I don't know if you're low. I'm in Detroit, so I think we're at the bottom of the rabbit hole.
I'm just saying, some people grow up in families where their parents might have had some kind of money or maybe were middle class. I never knew what that was like. I don't know what that's like. So everything that I got, I earned myself.
You know what? I think about 65 or 70% of Americans don't even have $500 in the bank, regardless of what it is, if it's paper, fiat, whatever.
I'd be one of those right now.
Yeah. Or I think so am I. I probably 70% of people, so maybe 70% of us are. If we're just statistically the average people.
Right. And so I'm average, but it doesn't mean I'm dumb. I just kind of I was never given the opportunity. Some people do. That's what I'm saying. There's a good portion of the people that are elected to office were there. They came from affluent families, and they're like, we're gonna do the best for the people that, and most people that vote, you know, they're gonna vote in that they're gonna believe what they see on television, you know, from these people, and you know, of course, we know that television is not going to give them the truth about what may or may not be good for the. I don't.
You know what they did? They through this currency, they've adjusted everything to where everybody, the cost to live, you know, for your phone bill, put gas in your tank, insurance, it's just about as much as you make, and it's usually more than you make. They've adjusted the minimum wage below the cost of living, so you have to use credit cards and all this other stuff. You have to go into debt just to live, and that's why the average person has nothing. Where this is just modern day feudalism. Yeah, it's feudalism, different form. And it's all these fucking taxes. You know, we're taxing, they call it the working poor, and it is. And that's how they like it. And yet they want us even more poor. They want us to have even less. So anybody that's even middle class, that has a comfortable, you know, maybe like $100,000 home, they don't want them to have that. They want you to live in an apartment and own nothing. And that's where they're pushing us. These big cities, Agenda 2030, that's what they want. They don't want, that's why they burned the city of Paradise, California. They burned them all out. And it's like, if we just sit here and do nothing and just go about our business and act like everything's fine, they'll finish us off, dude. They're going to come for us one by one. They come for us a little bit at a time. That's how they took out the Russians, a very small amount of the government. It was only 1%. They just came and took them out one by one. You know, let's take them out 1% at a time. And if you allow that, they will. They'll slowly come get you in the middle of the night. Unless we replace them, we have to get them out of there, because we know they're.
Is that what you think? What do you think their goal would be to do that? You know, specifically here in the United States.
They have different means. They have different means to do it. They're using chemtrails. They're using those 5G. They're using fluoride. So they got us already fluorided. Most people are fluoridated. It's in everything. It's in the water. It's in their toothpaste. And they probably put it in food, but it's in the pharmaceutical drugs, fluoride, where it shouldn't be there at all. They're putting rat poison in it. So what it does, it's dumbing you down. And then they could kill you with the foods. They're sterilizing people with the GMO food, so you can't have any children. The vaccines are doing that. So what they're soft killing us. They don't need to do it with a war. And then if they wanted to, they could just turn the 5G on and irradiate the whole fucking town, and we'll be dead like cockroaches. If that's what they want. But they could just slowly, gradually taper us down. Like, okay, people dropping dead 10 times faster than they used to. And they could do it. They have multiple ways to kill us off.
Ron, we don't have to be that doomsday-ish about it, man. I mean, there's got to be something. You know, it's like turn the 5G on. 5G is already on around me. I mean, I'm not dead yet. So.
They have the weaponized dew weapons, like they did in Paradise, California, and Malibu, and they're doing it in all various places. I don't know what the final move is.
That's a horror that everyone needs to address, and I think that it's not being addressed properly yet, and I totally agree on that. You know, what happened in Paradise and different parts of California, definitely.
I'm already like consigned. I'm like, I know I'm not getting out of here alive. I'm just waiting to get enough people to make a move. That's all that's what I'm living for. Like, waking up enough people to make
toward what? I mean, what are we?
A move toward removing the powers that shouldn't be.
Who are they?
We're going to have to find that out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Satan.
First, you start by removing the powers in place now, because they're doing the bidding. The people in there are doing the bidding for the powers that shouldn't be. They need to be removed. The people that are forcing poisonous vaccinations by force, they need to be removed. That's where we could start.
Well, I mean, that's really strange that you know, everybody's up in arms about this, and you know, rightfully so, about this New York bill to say that you can, third trimester abortions. That's pretty sick. I mean, not that any abortion is justified, but yeah, you could have abortions up to the date of
delivery.
Baby,
you delivered a baby, and they quit. It's like, who could do that? I mean, honestly, who could do that? It's like, happy
but
birthday.
we've already heard stories of people having a baby and putting in a dumpster behind an abortion clinic, or some shit like that. I mean, it's very, very sad. I'm sure. I know for a fact that women never get over that. They can say that it doesn't affect them, even if they have any abortion in any sort of term.
What they used to do?
The women never get over that, no matter how much they admit that they don't. They can be strong. They can sit there as strong, standing like they really feel strong. I mean, my first child was aborted, and I was in the parking lot crying when my girlfriend was in the clinic aborting our baby.
How
I guarantee she still thinks about that. How
old was your girlfriend?
Well, what?
How old was she when
she
did that?
Was 21, maybe 20 or 21, and I was like 19.
Yeah, that's messed up.
So yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it was a boy or a girl, whatever. And I was out in the parking lot crying.
At that age, it's old enough to where you could raise it. Like say you're like a teenager.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I guarantee she thinks about that. That's all I'm saying. It's not like she's just like it wasn't. Abortion is not birth control. When you're pregnant and you go to an abortion clinic and get your child aborted, that affects you emotionally. I mean, I'm not in contact with her anymore. I mean, it's been, 20 years since I've contacted her or whatever, and we're not even in contact. But that was my first child and her first child, and she would have had another child, whether or not, we probably would have never got married, and probably but we'd still have a child together. That person would have lived.
Yeah. How far along? Did she do it early, or was it something that she thought about?
It was a few months. I mean, it was probably 3 or 4 months, maybe.
Yeah. It's like if it's a 15-year-old girl, it's like she's very young and irresponsible, and like when babies are having babies, it's like
no, it wasn't babies. We were adults, man. We were
I get it. That's why it's like, yeah, that's sad. I've had that question too. Like, man, what if I got, and that's
sure
why
she does too. Sex. I mean, I'm sure she thinks about it sometimes, and just like I do. But my first child was never born. But
that's my rule: is to never have sex with someone you wouldn't want to have a child with. So if something happened, it's like, well, at least I could deal with this person. I like them enough to where if I did have a child, I don't hate their guts. I could deal with it. You know what I mean? Don't have a casual fling like, oh yeah, it's just the one night stand with this hooker at the bar.
It's easier said than done, Ron.
What's that?
Yeah.
Done. It's easier said than done. Okay, but yeah, I agree totally with you. But things happen sometimes.
Yeah, shit happens, man.
No raggets.
Abortions happen.
No raggets.
Oh, no. Hang on a minute. No, abortions don't happen on my watch. I fell pregnant to a guy and I have a child. He's 16 now, but that man that like impregnated me, when he found out I was pregnant and I was a bit of a bitch, he just took off. He wanted nothing to do with me. He wanted nothing to do with our child.
That's unfortunate. See, that's why this is my personal.
Not really. The way I look at it, he wasn't the ideal person to be a father or to have my child around.
But
so
your
the fact that
child's
he
a
didn't
man
want
now?
anything, the fact that my child is 16, he's out mowing the lawns for me. So
he's alive. He's alive.
Hey Becky, I have to say thanks for saying that. Thanks for saying that loud enough to where my daughter could hear, the 14-year-old. It helps reinforce what I've already told her.
That's the truth. It's the truth. But yeah, I wasn't giving the baby in my womb up for anyone. I didn't care. I even hid from my mother. for months.
So
In the street, I was
so
about.
you have
Hang
a
on, let
son.
me finish.
You have a son.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Sorry, Becky.
When I was about 3 months pregnant, I ran into my mother on the street and I told her that I was pregnant, and I said I'm already however many weeks, so I can't have an abortion, because I knew that they would want me to have an abortion. So I just stayed away from everyone until the baby was big enough that they couldn't even convince me not to have him.
I have a feeling mine would have been a dot. Would have been a girl.
You know what they could have done back in the day is they would take the baby, like these 9-month abortions. They would take the baby and put it in a basket, and they'd go to a church or like a wealthy family and put it on the doorstep and ring the doorbell and run away. Oh, look, a baby. And the responsible people, they might adopt it, or someone at the church would adopt the baby. That's what they did. You know, when you go full term, that's what you do. That's the humane thing. Whoever's aborting full term babies is just barbaric.
Yeah, neither of them two are an option for me, Ron, but I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just my personal philosophy. Everyone do what they do, but I mean, for me, that's what I try and do. That I don't have casual sex.
Right, I agree with you. If you don't want to raise children, then don't have sex, because it becomes a possibility. Period.
Yeah, and then there's no possibility if you're not having sex. So if you better make sure you like that person enough, if you're going to have sex with them, that you would deal with them for, you know, forever, because you're going to have this baby and you're going to have to deal with them. Like my nephew. Yeah, my nephew's mom is not.
Having daughters, I don't think I can repeat that enough, brother. I try to make my girl so picky that no motherfucker will ever please them.
Well,
sorry to all you. Yeah, sorry to all you guys out there, but you got to be up to standard or move on down the road. Keep
Mike has a lot of shotguns and rifles.
And you know what? She should be like that, because you don't want some guy that's a deadbeat guy, deadbeat dad, and irresponsible. Yeah. And I'm sure she won't. I'm sure she has good values from you, you know, and that's good that you're like that. And
you only get one shot at life.
And you know what, Mike?
You only get one shot at life. Like my kid said, YOLO, you only live once.
Yeah, but you know what? You have, yeah, that's true. But, oh, shoot, what was I going to say?
YOLO. Right, you can't go back and fix stuff. You just end up with regrets, so.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these children are growing up without a father figure. You know, at least your children have a father. That's a good thing. And they don't necessarily know. You know what I mean? All these single family households, the children start out at a disadvantage, and then they're easily molded at school, where the teacher becomes their extra parent, and they're teaching like Johnny has two dads. They're teaching like homosexuality and things. You know what I mean? It's so hard for these kids growing up. I feel bad for them.
They do teach that. Like, oh, you got to accept those people.
Actually, no, they don't.
It depends what school. Maybe you guys are more conservative school, but some of these other schools, the president of Brazil, he just, I was watching a video of some of the school books they had, and it was disgusting. They had like a cartoon penis, and then you could stick your finger through the hole in the book. You know what I mean? Like, it was disgusting. And this is made for young children. And then across
one of them pop outs.
Yeah, kind of like that. But you stick your book.
Yeah, we used to have pop out books where you learned about mountains and stuff. You know, open the mountains, pop out.
Kids love those, man.
Put his pinky through the hole, and it came out. And then on the other page, there was the female opposite of it. It was in a child's book. Yes, like a young child's book that could barely read. I'm like, what the F? This is in Brazil. And he's like a new conservative. So he's burning those books. He's like, get that shit out of here. He's like, he's finally cleaning up the debauchery.
Sounds like my pastor. My pastor promoted Motley Crue, man. He burnt so many Motley Crue Shout at the Devil records, man. He didn't want nobody to be able to.
Oh, man. I want to shout at the devil, though, man.
I'm telling you, dude, he pre-ordered every album he could, Helio, and then he went in and bought all the stores out. I was like, man, Preacher John, You're mean. He said, you don't need to be listening to that stuff, Michael.
Man, my Motley Crue was telling you to shout at the devil. Tell him to kiss your ass.
Dude, look at the pentagram on there. I like that song too, but there's a pentagram, and it's
I told him, preacher, how do we exercise him if we don't shout? How do we catch him out?
You know, I mean, it's just, not that Motley Crue is the purest, you know, thing of everything, but at the same time, you know, it's just kind of a whatever. You mean Mike? You know, we know what's.
Yeah, you know, that's the kind of church I went to, dude. This is what we did.
That's just like they used to think Ozzy Osbourne was the devil too. You know, whatever.
Yeah,
Ozzy was like telling you the truth right in front of your face, man, when he wrote his lyrics.
Dude, my pastor went to jail because they told him don't have another fire in the parking lot. And he said, oh, we'll be burning more next week. So they were there. And he torched it. And then he just took church money and bought a lot of land. And he have a bonfire.
A bonfire. Everybody bring your Motley Crue albums. Let's burn them up.
And I had a grandma.
Vinyl, that's dirty.
I had a grandmother and
did he
mom.
burn some Stephen King books and shit too? Bring your Stephen King novels.
It'd be a Friday night event, and my grandma and my mom on Thursday would be like, "Do you got a ride to the bonfire, Michael? You need a ride."
Did you hide your records, Mike?
Oh, you know I did. My
dad. You buried that shit in the barn.
Yeah, my dad said, you better pick a hiding spot, boy, because your mama going to give your pastor that record.
Fucking Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Michael's burying that shit. Mama ain't going to find this shit.
My dad's like, I didn't buy it. The hell out my barn. My dad used to be cool.
You talked a lot about your dad, man. He sounds like a really cool dude, man. I like it.
I found the video. You got to go to the 8-minute mark, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Dude, my pastor was the guy that would videotape the fire while he's burning the record, and then see the devil in the fire. You know?
You see that devil?
I mean, I loved him. He was a good guy.
But he probably wasted a lot of good metal records. He could have just gave them to me.
Damn it! I swear. This shit, he probably burned. This should be worth $50,000 right now.
Yeah, good rock and roll.
He made national news for it. He spent that much church money on it, and the patrons were cool with it. Man, they started doubling the types. Burn them records, Pastor. Amen. Lordy, lordy.
Well, the record store liked him. he's buying.
Yeah.
Hey, send us more records. We can't keep them on the show. Dude, they could keep making records.
Hey, we had a record shop called Crazy Bob's Records and Vinyl in Tapestries. And Crazy Bob loved him. I know he did. Like, Bob's just going to get more, Pastor.
Crazy Bob was getting rich off him. Did he give him a discount? He's going to burn him.
You could go in there and buy Whippets or Rush. You could buy Tapestries, and they had all the devil horns on them.
Well, is the devil.
The Trooper.
Oh, dude, I got this. The Whippets, the cream Whippet. I got so high off those before. I think I lost brain cells, dude, after doing that for like one.
Oh, yeah. Whippets were crazy, dude.
My IQ went down by about 10 points at least.
It's just CO2 in a balloon.
Oh, dude, there was one night when I was in college.
Correction.
One night when I was in college. No, I ain't even going to talk about it. Never mind. It wasn't.
We don't condone. We do not condone.
It was like fucking.
Yeah, drugs are bad.
Or something. People like sprayed something in the back. I can't fucking remember what it was. Spray something in the bag and huff it, whatever, that's anything. Anytime you huff
air dusters.
No, it wasn't air dusters. It was
Michael's
something else. Huffing that shit'll fucking that'll put you way the fuck out there.
I don't have to worry about that, Ron.
What?
You huffing anything?
Young minds. No, drugs are awful. We're speaking from.
She's already bright enough. She'd say you guys are dumbasses.
Well, I mean, it's like inhalants really kind of it is kind of dumb. Like inhalants, it's just
more of a poison than a drug.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a quick high. It's just like a lack of oxygen. It does. I mean, yeah, that's not really. But I mean, if your daughter's listening to I'm not going to talk about any hallucinogenics or anything.
Oh, she's the daughter of Red Foreman, bro. She just calls all dumbass.
Oh, cool.
She's already bright. She don't like the smell of smoke, pot, liquor. That stuff's for dumbasses, you know. That Daddy said so.
Okay. Mike, that's gonna change, man. I'm just. It's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, I know, Helio.
What's gonna change?
But the inhalants and stuff like that'd be a good idea to stay away from that.
Yeah, we all got to experience that shit for ourselves, you know.
Yeah, but guys mostly. I don't know any women that really got into inhalants and shit. Most guys, man, they're just like, yeah,
I remember being a young one, drinking a beer when I was young. It was really bitter and awful, but it got me a buzz. I'm like, woohoo! You know, it was like we were playing like we were truck drivers. We had our trucker hats on, and my cousin, his dad drove a truck, like a semi truck, and we snuck a beer out. We each stole one. We got a buzz. We're just.
Was that when all the old men drank Pabst Blue Ribbon?
No, he drank Miller Lite. He drank Miller Lite and then Black Label. My great uncle he drank Black Label.
Oh, those two are both as nasty as Pabst.
Dude, I drink Miller Lite now because it's the only thing I can drink all night and not get really freaking.
You don't get drunk off Miller Lite. There's not enough alcohol in it.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Well, if you drink about 20 of them, you can get drunk off it.
Dude, this beer right here is 6.2%, man. I'm drinking some heavy stuff.
What are you drinking?
It's called Lagunitas IPA.
There was one from Canada. I think it's called, it had X on it.
It's an ale.
What is it? It's a Molson. It's a Molson.
Yeah, it's an ale.
Lagunitas.
It's a creamed ale.
It's like a 12% or something. I forget the name of it. It's like really strong.
Oh yeah. They got Russian beers over here because there's a lot of Russians that live in this neighborhood, and we got it's called Baltica. They have Baltica 8, Baltica 9, Baltica 10, and each one has 8%, 9%, etc.
Yeah, this had 12 proof, which is like 6%.
Yeah. This is 6.2.
Damn, yeah. Becky said they have burger and chips at their KFC.
Burgers?
They have burgers at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Interesting. They used to have good chicken sandwiches at KFC.
We will have chips.
Chips are French fries,
but they're thicker. What you call fries, we call skinny.
Well,
what do you call it? Kiwi?
We call your French fries chips. We have chips at KFC.
Really?
Well, but at the KFC, there are some places here where like KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell are all owned by the same corporation. So sometimes you'll have a Taco Bell and a KFC together, or a Pizza Hut. So
Pizza Hut, yeah.
But they have burgers at your KFC.
They got rid of that. Where you could get them, you could get them.
I think the company
Pepsi Cola. Yeah, Pepsi Cola owns all of it. Yeah, Pepsi Cola owns all of it. Yeah.
You know what it's called?
But your chips.
Yum brands.
Yeah,
are they like thicker than the chips or the fries at McDonald's? Do they look different?
Oh yeah. McDonald's fries suck now, man. Everybody used to love McDonald's fries. They all suck now. Everybody has
they've got to be really fresh.
McDonald's had the best French fries. Wendy's has those steak. They're like steak fries. They're thicker.
Yeah, Wendy's has the best fries now. And Burger King has pretty good fries now. McDonald's is the worst freaking fries now.
I don't really
like fries. They're cheaps, mate.
Cheaps. They're chips.
Well, they do have.
They're called chips.
Sound funny.
Chips.
Well, they got chip French fries that are sliced along the axis. They're called chips when they look like a dill pickle slice. They call those chips. They slice them sideways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A has the waffle fries.
Yeah, those
Chick-fil-A
are cool.
over there.
Waffle fries.
Do you have a Chick-fil-A, Becky? You ever heard of Chick-fil-A?
Becky,
never heard of them.
It's just it's called a chicken burger.
Chick-fil-A is pretty good.
You know why they slice them like that? So you could put them on your burger. They slice them like a chip. The French fries, you could lay them on your hamburger.
Talking about the waffle fries?
Your hamburger?
Yeah, when you put them on your hamburger. I had a sandwich in Cleveland, and it had French fries. I think it was a corned beef sandwich, French fries on it. Really thick bread, yeah. And it wasn't half bad. They were like chip-style French fries, like chunky, sliced. If you took a potato and you slice it downward. You know what I mean? If you were slicing like you know how you slice a cucumber? You just slice it down like those are chips.
I know the
those
way.
Are chip
Yep. Yeah, I don't know where you can get those here in Australia, but we have steak cut fries. I mean chips. So each sort of different cut of French fry has a different name. So our French fries over here are very small and skinny potatoes that are deep fried.
Yeah, we have that too. We just call them French fries.
Yeah,
but I think it's also
we don't
funny.
call fat chips French fries. How can you call fat chips French fries?
Or freedom fries.
That's what they've always been.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Well, Becky, we have like waffle fries, curly fries.
USA.
You know what I'm saying? Get with the program.
Oh,
no, but
cool.
I wanted to say when I was in Europe, I kept getting pissed off because they call the meal, like, when you go to like Burger King, whatever, and you order a meal and it's like a drink, a fry, and a sandwich. So they call it a menu. So you order the menu, like, I'll take the Whopper menu. Do they do that in Australia?
No. We say I'll have a Big Mac meal.
Meal or combo. I'll accept combo, but I'm not gonna order. I kept telling these people, I'm like, listen, I'm not eating a menu. A menu is what I order. I eat
That's
the
what you
meal.
order off. You eat the meal.
Exactly.
Yes,
I swear they call it a menu. And when I was in Amsterdam, I said, I corrected her. I was like, it's not a menu, it's a meal. And she's like, oh yeah, same thing. I was like, yeah, okay.
No.
If you order everything on the menu, I'll order the menu. That means you order every item.
Right. Yeah, I guess figuratively you could say I ate the menu, but then you'd have to eat everything from the menu. That's a tall
even the oysters and stuff. Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, my bad. I don't know why I had to say that, but I did.
Chips. I thought chips were fish. Chips and fish, or fish and chips, whatever. Like a British
chips. That's a European thing.
That's what we have here. No, we have fish and chips. That's like a piece of fish, whether it's battered or crumbed or grilled. And then we have the potato chips, which are fat fries to go with them. You would call them French fries.
We get that here at Long John Silver's. Long John Silver's.
And chicken and chips.
Super guy.
And chicken and chips.
Yeah, I like a quarter of a chicken and chips with the wing.
Oh, yeah, guys, back when we started the show on with the artificial intelligence, has that ever happened to anybody where you had a comment that you just seen changed artificially? Has that ever happened? I mean, am I the only one who's had this?
I haven't seen a comment of mine change, but I've seen the Google AI mods come into a chat and remove my comments, like override the actual channel moderators.
Really? Yeah, I've had my stuff altered too. Like, I'm like, huh? I put a comment. I don't know if it was deleted by the mods or just YouTube deleted it. Because when I was a moderator, I did see comments disappear. That none of us. When a moderator deletes something, it there's like a little blue thing, and I could click on it and read it. As long as I'm a mod, I could see who did it. Like, which one of the mods. But this it just went. It was some kind of artificial intelligence. It was on the what's that? Google
the AI bots that come through.
Oh,
be doing that.
Yeah,
is that in the live stream chat? Sorry, Ron.
I was wondering if anyone else had their comments like duplicated. So let's say you posted something, Becky, like you
Oh,
posted
sorry.
your little poem that you wrote, and then you see another person, let's just say a person you don't know, and they're posting it. You're looking at, let's say you're watching Titus Frost, and you're reading his comments, and you see the same your little poem. You see somebody had posted it, and you're like, what the hell is
They're
that?
not copying and pasting it off your comment first.
Maybe
or-
they're just big fans, Ron. They love you.
No, I don't think they were. I mean, I would appreciate it if people were, but it's like this guy wasn't, because it went away. It would have been there when I went to reply. It would have still been there.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how it works.
That's weird. Yeah, yeah.
It's so, you know, it's almost like they're trying to mess with you individually, Ron, to screw with your head. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. Well,
maybe you're just a big
Have you got
fucking
Ron
YouTube
Theory on
troll,
your
Ron.
computer?
You're a flat
Here,
earth
Ron, do
troll
you-
and they just
Ron?
hate you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just
VPN on your computer?
Yes, I do.
Good. Yeah.
I'm a flat earth troll.
I'm a tablet. Yeah.
So am I. I'm a subtle
I have
troll.
to make, I have to make
Right.
more internet or more email addresses, and I'm going to make about 5 more accounts. And then I'm going to come in with different names.
Me and Ron are trolls by location. We live under the bridge.
I like.
They're users. We're
Not
trolls.
every troll is a bad guy. There's some good trolls. Like,
Oh hell,
you know what I mean?
it's kind of necessary sometimes, you know, to combat the ridiculousness that we have to put up with.
Isn't it though?
To troll.
I'm a noble troll. I'm a reformed troll.
Noble troll. I mean, that's what
That
P
is
Mars.
the
I
question.
think P Mars really thinks he's a noble troll.
I try to do good.
Puddin' Mars.
Puddin' Mars.
I know. I know. The
That's what
best,
the P is for. The P is
I know
for
the best
pudding.
trolls. I love trolls.
Hey,
Many of my friends are trolls.
Hey Ron, you ever get them American
it's like-
fries?
I didn't know. I
like
learned
trolls.
how to be a troll
American
from
fries
all
and
the
gravy.
trolls. I didn't know trolling
Find some
existed
trolls.
until I came on here and tried to speak my mind and was like trolled the fuck out of by everybody. And I was like, oh, I see what's
Some of the
going
trolls
on.
are really nice, but then some are just horrid people, you know?
Well,
horrid.
that's
Michael Smith, but did you have this question, Mike?
I said you ever have any American fries?
Yeah, all the time.
Talking about French fries, I like American fries with sausage gravy.
Hash browns are American fries.
Yeah.
Oh, we have hash browns. I
that's
love
what
hash browns.
Hash
they put
browns are
gravy
delicious.
on
Yes.
they put gravy on the chips here, the fries here.
I just like them
Chips and gravy, yum.
Yeah,
With the
toasted
chicken.
hash browns with butter.
a sunny side up egg right on top.
Jason
Is
likes
that
to
your
dip
dog?
steak in mashed potatoes.
I'll put 2 or 3 of them on top of my pancakes with peanut butter on them too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that was nice. A nice big side of hash browns. Yum.
I'm so hungry
They
now.
shred them. They shred them like shredded.
That's what I
Get
was.
together, go to Waffle House, man. You can tell them exactly what you want at Waffle House, and they'll fucking do it right up for you, man. Everything.
Oh, some egg McMuff.
Good. You know when you're
That's what Jimbo said in the chat. He said egg McMuff. I was cracking up on that. Shout out to Jimbo, man.
You know when you're driving a semi truck or when you're driving over the road long time and it's like 3 a.m. and nothing sounds better than breakfast with eggs. It's like eggs
Dude,
and toast.
and if you find a Waffle House, they'll do it exactly like you want. You say, hey, I want hash browns with onions, chili. I want my egg sunny side up,
Bacon,
put right on
sausage.
top of the hash brown, you know, with the onions on the side. They'll do it any way you want, man. You just
Some
tell
of them
them
ain't
what you
so
want.
good.
They'll
I was
do
at
it,
a-
man. Waffle House
Yeah.
is the
I was
shit.
at a little one,
And a
little
smiley
podunk
face.
Waffle House in like somewhere in the mid South in Tennessee, and not all of them are that good. You know, this was a little dive one, but I didn't care, dude. That's what I wanted, and there was no. I'm starving. I'm like, dude, I want eggs and bacon and toast, and that's what I want. And it's like,
Dude,
At
when
least
I
it
go
was
down
the
south,
example.
I gotta
love
get
eggs.
I get some grits. You don't get grits?
From my head down to my legs.
Grits come with everything down south.
Grits
The
is like the
incredible
heart of the
edible
corn,
egg.
right?
Yeah,
I just wanted something familiar. You know, I'm not familiar with grits. I was starving. I wanted to eat something
myself. Even though
that I'm not
from the South, I'm not a big fan of grits.
I could eat everything on the plate, dude. The bacon, I ate it all, even if it's a little bit rubbery. Still eat.
You don't know what good eating is if you don't like grits, Jason.
Well, I mean, you got to put some butter on salt on it.
You got to put everything in that shit, bro. I put it all in there. I'm making one grit buffet.
Half the people in here are like, "What the fuck is grits?"
I know.
Grits is just like the heart of the corn. It's like the little seed in the corn, you know.
Why is grit?
Grits is like the
you don't know what grits is.
It's like oatmeal. It's like oatmeal or something in the corn.
Yeah, what does it come from? Like what plant?
From corn.
It's from
It's corn.
Corn.
It's like the corn seed. It's just like the center of the corn.
Corn grits with butter. Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of like oatmeal, but a little bit sloppier.
Actually, the heart of the corn kernel is really sweet. That little nugget.
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's
thing
good. I mean, you just put a little bit of butter and sugar, maybe a little bit of salt.
You can have grits for breakfast or dinner. It don't matter.
It's not bad.
Where do they get? How do they get the grit out of it? Like, what do they do with the rest of the kernel?
Kind of like flour.
They process it. Yeah, they process it as sugar. It's kind of like that. The grits is what's left after they pull the fucking outside of the kernel off.
Yeah, it's the leftover. Yeah,
it's the leftover shit. It's like they pull the big part of the corn off and then the little seed in the middle. That's grits.
Is it soft or is it gritty?
No, it's kind of like oatmeal.
Okay. Yeah, because the name grit doesn't sound appetizing. They should maybe change it up.
Yeah, just the name sounds gross.
The nitty gritty.
But it's really good when you put some butter and
they should call it. I got a name. Filet au corn. It's the fillet of the corn. You know how you have a filet mignon, filet of corn
pudding,
filet of corn.
It sounds better than grits. Like grits sounds like
corn.
We call them corn
fillet.
chunks or something here.
It's like the core of the corn kernel. It's like the core, that little bit in the middle.
Did you call Becky corn checks? That sounds even better.
No. I think we used to call them corn cakes. Are they with flour and stuff, and then you add corn into them?
No.
You talking about cornbread?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love some cornbread.
Cornbread.
I love cornbread.
Love bacon.
You gonna eat that cornbread?
Hungry right now, and I love bacon.
Cornbread with some chili.
Hey, cornbread goes good with grits. If you're having grits for dinner, if you're having it for breakfast, you just gotta mix everything in it and flavor it.
Bacon. Oh yeah, Costco has pretty good pre-made bacon. It's like it's pre-cooked, but you still got to cook it for about 30 seconds on each side.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah, I was just there today.
That's
it's
some
about
lazy shit. You don't cook bacon like
that.
What
it's actually really lazy because once the bacon is cooked, it doesn't go bad as quickly. Because you know when bacon goes bad,
don't know how to cook bacon, man. What the?
No, it ain't even about that.
Just try it, Helio. Because before you talk,
I already know what's up. It's like, hey, I'm too lazy to cook bacon, so I'm going to buy prepackaged cooked.
You still have to cook it, just not as long, because it's like they do.
Cook it 30 seconds on each side. 30 seconds on each side, and it's ready to go.
I already know.
Where's the love?
You got to put the love in
We're
the bacon.
arguing over bacon. Holy fuck!
You're gonna buy pre-cooked bacon.
So we're not arguing over bacon.
I'm sorry, guys. Did I derail the entire conversation?
Yeah, you're talking about pre-cooked bacon. You're gonna buy, all you do is microwave it or put it in the pan for 20 seconds.
Becky or me?
Hey, it's already cooked. I mean, it tastes good.
Me?
I'm not
How
gonna
does
lie,
bacon
it
go
does
bad?
taste all right, but I'm just saying, you cook it, then you use the grease to make your bacon gravy.
God, David, tell me how does bacon go bad?
And then that's how you bake.
Who's got a half hour for morning? You got to run to work, so it's like I got my slave job to keep. It's like I got 5 minutes.
I did sleep yesterday, so that's why I didn't have a show last night. But now I'm awake. Y'all niggas.
There was no
tripping.
So let's do this.
It's only
I wanted to
midnight
talk
now.
about the Freemason thing. The Freemason.
All right, so where are we at on the
boom? Let's go right back.
Let's get back on our focus here. I mean, food will get distracted everybody because
let's put down the food
now.
Anybody wise to Freemasonry? Does anybody
As
know
I'm walking
anybody
to the kitchen?
The Masons stole my cornbread.
the fucking Mason stole all my damn corn.
Well,
Which
aspect? Which aspect?
Well, like Ron, the video you sent me today, like, I mean, I don't want to go into too much graphic detail because that stuff was really disturbing. But I think it is important for everyone to watch at some point. And I think she's just talk about maybe the message that we got out of that video, right?
Well, yeah, we could do it without getting graphic.
Yeah, because it pertains
Ron,
to Freemasonry.
Breakdown, though. I mean, what concerns
It verifies a lot of the shit that we've been looking into. You know what I mean? Because she was a first witness. If she's telling the truth, I mean, we don't know this person.
Grandfather, it was her grandfather or uncle, one of those, and he kidnapped her at gunpoint from her parents' home. He took her to a place, Freemason Lodge, with a checkerboard floor, and she described the details. And I forgot, there was a girl that was from Eastern Star, and she was telling the story, and you kicked her out. And I wanted to hear the details, like, what's the ceremony like? Like, I wanted to hear, maybe she was bullshitting, maybe she wasn't. But that was Helio. He kicked her out. I'm like, damn, I wanted to hear, because I'm trying to figure out these Freemasons and shit. But anyway,
I kicked somebody out?
There was a large book. Yeah, this was a while back. It was some girl. But anyway, let's talk about this one. Because this one has her testimony, and she said she had to read what she wrote because she would break down, and she was breaking down because some of the details, how they did ritual murders, and during these ritual murders, an entity appeared, like a dark entity, like Satan or Lucifer or something. They summoned this demon by doing these cruel acts. That's what summoned him. And it sounds legit. I'm like, wow, why do you think they worship? Like, you see the Rothschild wearing that golden devil medallion on her neck. It's probably a transgender woman, but you know what I mean. Wearing a devil medallion made out of gold. It's like,
it's the Baphomet.
Go ahead.
Well, I think the devil gives them stuff. It gives them earthly things for doing evil. They did this evil stuff. They murdered a baby. They were raping a young girl. And the devil, that's how he pays them. It's like, oh, good little devils. Here's your present. He gives them earthly things. And they dance around in their Freemason uniforms and do horrendous stuff for the trinkets of the devil.
So do you think that children are led into this ritual process and are convinced that if they participate, whether or not they are violated, but they may witness something happening, and that can happen to adults as well. They can witness some psychospiritual experience and be convinced that to participate in these same type of experiences, which I've heard testimonies from people that have experienced these things as well, and are convinced that are convinced that maybe they have been through some of these processes, as a child as well. So you're talking about a testimony. I mean, I didn't watch your video that you sent. So is that what you're saying?
There's no benefit for the person who was raped.
Spiritual experience. It was like
she was a pure victim. She got nothing out of it. There was never anything ever offered to her. You know what I mean? She was just a victim in the ceremony. But she couldn't do nothing because they threatened her. Like, there was even police involved, and they said, you'll end up like the dead child that they murdered. If you ever say anything, you'll be the next victim there. Well, so she was terrified.
Have you seen that video? It's like released on Facebook, and there was like this boy and a girl, and they were talking about some kind of similar, like, demonic ritual that they described. Have you seen that? It's like a boy and a girl. They're like, well, we were inside this thing. I can't freaking remember now, but
no, I didn't see that one.
it was very convincing. You know, the way that they described it was very convincing. I mean, and it's really hard, in my opinion, to get, you know, kids that young to describe in detail what they said. So I mean, I can't say that they were lying or not lying. But if that was the case, of course these people are criminals and they would be in prison. But guess what? They aren't. You know, I don't.
Well, they can't. They can't. Like children can't make things like that up. I don't think a lot of adults can make that up. You know, when they describe the things that are done, like it's not something you can make up or even say with a straight face. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know,
Yeah.
Bonk man. I think that some of these actors they put out through Hollywood, some of the children, even they could be older and make them look younger. I really think that they could actually make shit up and convince.
No, these were young children.
They
No,
were
I don't know
pretty
about
young.
that.
They were pretty young. They looked pretty young. I
7 and 8 years old. They were like really young children.
Yeah,
The
it was like a
Hempstead
boy and a
children.
girl, and they were like, we went through this experience, and
No, they were
talking about
babies in that
demonic
story.
Yeah,
shit.
they're
Just to,
babies.
This was
dude.
like this
yeah,
was
they
like
were
just
babies.
about a few years ago.
Not to get too
Yeah,
graphic.
that's them. The Hempstead children. They were
Yeah,
like,
Hampstead. Yeah, that was those
Okay.
yeah,
kids.
they're like 5 years old and 7. They were just very young children, and they knew way too much details. There's no way they were faking
Yeah.
that.
I hate to say it, like I hate to add that detail in, but just to really drive in the point of this video and like how powerful it was, man, because it was very emotional, man, listening to that. She broke
Yeah.
down in tears towards the end of the video. She couldn't even contain herself, and of course, I don't blame her. I thought she was going to break down. I'm surprised she didn't even start crying sooner.
Well, I
'cause
know it's just like
stuff
they
she
were
was
just
talking
like
about.
nonchalant. They were like talking about it, just like. But that's why I was suspect of it. Is just like they were showing, you know, they were just like, okay, I'm ready to talk about it. Boom.
They
and
had
just
medical injuries, dude.
talk, and then you know, and just like, I mean, it's just like I was
Dude, they
breaking down
described
earlier, just
tattoos.
talking about when I, you know, when my son or daughter was aborted earlier, I had to stop talking because I was just like, hey. Yeah, I
They
went
had
through
details.
this. I was sitting in the parking lot when my girlfriend, I asked her not to get an abortion, and I had no choice over it. And I was sitting in the parking lot, and I was just like, I almost broke out. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
and my first child was
Hey.
aborted. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, so how can a 5-year-old do this? So it's like there's certain
They-
things that we all go through. So, but a
They were
5-year-old
raped. Both of them were raped through their in the butt. They were raping them, and they had medical injuries. They were like certifiable. They were medical injuries, both of them. So, and they described the tattoos. These people that were raping them had tattoos in their pubic area of devils and monsters. So it's like, hey, excuse me, do you have a devil tattoo by your pubic area? And if they do, guess what? Nobody should be seeing that. You know what I mean? And if it's like, yes, Mr. Jones has a devil tattoo right here. And if he does, guess what? He's going to be swinging on a rope. I mean, that's what should have happened, but they all got away because the police were in on it, the teachers, all up and down the government were in on it. It's horrendous. They describe everything, like the details. There's a screw in the wall where they hang the baby, and I won't get into details, but it's gruesome. It's absolutely gruesome.
Rome had like Rome used to have these orgies during winter solstice, what we call Christmas, and they would involve the children, because they'd get drunk and do all this. And when you go back even further, like when you read like Bible stories, talking about people sacrificing their children to the fire, even kings, like Menelaus from the Iliad, right, by Homer, the Trojan War. Menelaus sacrificed his daughter in the fire to I think Apollo or one of the Greek gods, before setting out to take Troy. I was like, what kind of person in their right mind would do that? You know what I mean? So when you think about their religion and what they do, so it's like, so do these people still exist today? And when you hear these stories, it's like, to me, you know, it's like, yeah, they're still around. It seems to be, you know, they were rulers then, like some of the world's most powerful and wealthiest people. You know what I mean? Influential people do these rituals, and today's society, like us, you know, when we talk about these things, it's really like it's normal to them, but our world is not a real world. Like when we go to court, it's not justice. You know what I mean? We think we see this world, you know, it's this facade, this fake world that's like, oh, this is right, that's wrong. But to them, we're just we're delusional, yeah, and what they do is normal, I think. Yeah, and there's real spiritual power and stuff like that happening. Does that make sense? No? Am I just high?
Yeah, a lot of these videos were taken down. I don't know, man. Those people are sick. They were raised in it, but you could see a lot of people think Lift the Veil is a shill, but he reported on this. This is the children now with their father. They're older here, and he was trying to get them into acting in Hollywood, but you could see it's the same children, you know, and it's him. That's their scumbag, devil worshipping father that rapes the children. This girl was in a Super Bowl ad. That's her right there. Well, I mean, someone's reporting on it, whatever he is, but not too many people report on this shit.
And then there's Hollywood. Transgender, this transgender thing happening.
Transgender agenda.
Yeah. That's, yeah. It gets a little deeper.
The gender agenda. The whole thing.
Michelle Obama. Big Mike.
Correction, Michael Robinson.
Yep, Michael Robinson. I have the picture of Michael Robinson when he was still Michael.
Mikey
He's got the little
Mike.
glasses. He's got the little glasses. It looks just like him.
So is he? Is she like the first man? The first man?
No.
Back.
Oh man.
There's been a lot of tranny first ladies. A lot.
Jackie O too.
No, I don't know about her, but I mean there was a lot that we don't know of. It's a different rabbit hole I don't like to go down because a lot of people get turned off.
I mean, we could go there.
Just likes to call her Mike. Oh, you know, I just like to call her Mike. You know, it's like
Michael. He did call him Michael before. He said Michael and I.
Yeah, he slipped up a few times.
And it's like, well, maybe he meant Michelle and Michael are very similar in, you know, how they look, but they don't pronounce anywhere the same. Right. My brother's name is Michael, and I've never called him Michelle. It just doesn't happen.
That's a good point.
It's like, hey, Michelle.
You're a cool brother, because my older brother always called me that.
He called you Michelle?
Can you beat his ass, or?
Yeah, I could, but he was older than me, but I still could.
No, I was talking to Mike.
I couldn't then.
Isn't it Mika L?
Michelle.
Mikhail.
Kyle.
Mikale.
They appear similar on paper. You know, at a glance, they look very similar, most of it. But nobody confuses the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a cousin named Michelle. I've never called in my life. So, you know, sometimes when you're texting, it gets, you know, the autocorrect or whatever, it could be Michelle and vice versa. But I would never call her to her face Michael, ever. or even referring to her.
No.
So that's a good point, Ron.
Here's Michael Robinson, if anyone wants to see him. Back in the day in college, here's young Michael.
And he's packing heat, just in case you didn't know.
No, there's no heat.
Nah, never mind.
I'll show people in YouTube. This is Michael Robinson, the First Lady.
See. That looks like her, man.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Oh, it's Micah L. Micah L.
Oh, not really.
Micah L. Which is L means God. Right. Anyway.
But I agree with Ron. Yeah, we don't need to like digress into transvestite stuff, really.
Well, if you understand where Michael or Michelle, whatever you want to consider that person, Obama, if you look into where that person came from, it's through Jesse Jackson's Chicago influence of the... I can't even think of... What's the name of that movie? Shit, now I can't remember it. It's like the Barack Obama, Michelle Obama union wasn't just born out of, Barack fell in love with Michelle and they got married and had children. That's not where that union came from. It's a political ploy. The entire thing was a total sham from the beginning.
But are they actually like partners? Or is that all part of the act? Like they're acting as partners?
I don't think.
Oh, you like the Clintons? I think they're gay lovers because they were together in college.
No. Well, did they have daughters?
No, those are not their children.
I know.
Obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I have the family whose real daughters they are. I have a picture of them.
Look up Michelle Obama's roots.
You know what it is?
She has roots in the Chicago mafia, and Barack Obama came from the CIA. His mother and grandfather were CIA agents.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? You know, when you have like a soap opera and it's like you have this couple that everyone identifies as a couple and it's really just two actors, but they show up to work and they pretend to be this couple that America falls in love with. You know what I mean?
But
so it could just be like that.
I mean, that's where the same thing with well, Bill and Hillary actually were kind of together. I mean, I grew up in Arkansas. I mean, I didn't know any better when I was growing up, but once I found out what the fuck was going on with Bill and Hillary, I was like, oh, I see. Because Bill Clinton was pretty much, he was the governor in Arkansas when I lived here. I voted for him for president when I was 18 years old. I didn't know shit about anything.
It's all your fault.
All my fucking fault. I voted for Bill Clinton when I was 18.
He's from Arkansas. Fuck yeah, man. Me too. I'm a vote.
Fuck yeah,
guy.
man. I was like, fuck yeah, Arkansas. My mom was a Democrat, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm voting for Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I would vote for a guy from Brooklyn. I mean, shit, I voted for... But
Donald Trump is from Brooklyn, ain't he?
He's from New York, so that's good enough for me.
Close enough. He's a big time Long Island. No, he was from where? Manhattan?
Yeah, Manhattan. And you know, I mean, I worked for the guy. So to see my former boss's name on the presidential ballot, it felt pretty cool, I'm not going to lie.
You worked for Trump?
Yeah, I was a waiter at his golf club.
Really? Did he ever come by and throw you a big tip? I heard he throws out $100 tips.
I mean, he threw me a 50 once. You know, nothing crazy. But I just served him dinner. I basically just dropped a plate down. You know, his dinner. Yeah, I'd served him once.
It would have been nice to get the hundo though. It's like, oh man,
yeah, I know, man.
But
did you
as far as
God,
what is the name of that freaking movie with Barack Obama showing that his mom and grandfather?
Yo, Helio, I'm not gonna lie, man. One time
And you were on Discord and you were like yelling at some Obama connection, like, but you're like, you don't understand Obama. Like, I'm sorry to bring it up. It was just pretty funny because like you were pretty drunk and you just kept like bringing up Obama and never mind. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's not funny. I mean, none of it's funny.
No,
These guys
it's
aren't
not
real
funny. It was
people. They're just characters in a play.
No, that's not the funny part. It was just you kept going. You were harping on this particular thing, and never mind. I don't know.
Dreams from My Real Father. I'll post it in the text. I got it. Hold on. I remember the name.
Boom.
Real Father.
Dreams from My Real Father.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched this,
There's a video
pretty sure
on
that
it.
Ron hasn't watched it yet.
Oh yeah, Dreams of
You
My
have
Real
watched it? Dreams
from
from
Barry
My Real Father?
Soetoro?
No.
Yeah, Barry Soetoro's real father.
No, I'm
Frank
talking
Marshall
about
Davis.
the documentary film called Dreams from My Real Father. Have you watched it yet?
No, I don't watch any movies. I am boycott Hollywood.
Not a Hollywood movie.
No.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? How could I ever reach?
See what you did, Mitty? See what you did? Oh my gosh!
I don't watch any movies, man. What do you want me? I'm not a movie
Not a
critic.
movie. It's a documentary film about how
I still
Barack
care.
Obama's real
Who's in the-
father is Frank Marshall Davis.
I already knew that. Did I just say that?
We're gonna have to set up a telegraph, bro, because the phone don't work.
I just said Frank Marshall Davis. I got the nudes. I got the nudes from his mother in his house. I got
Okay, well,
Obama
that was
nudes.
established during Dreams from My Real Father. You probably got that from me, but you don't realize.
She's got the cone. She's got the cone tits.
Cone tits.
What? Yo, what is happening?
Obama's mama has witch tits.
Thanks, Michael.
He knew how to switch it.
Yeah, watch anybody that doesn't think that anyone that has any question about Barack Obama, then if you watch Dreams from My Real Father that Michael just posted in the chat, and
It's like the Madonna bra. Remember Madonna had that?
Except they're really cone shaped.
You'll understand why. Barack Obama is not Barack Obama. No, that's not even the whole movie. Hold on.
Nope.
Let me find it. Hold on. It's on what's the fuck is the name of this?
Barack Obama is not Barack Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama.
No, he's Barry Soetoro, but before that he was impregnated by his mother was impregnated by Frank Marshall Davis, and they made a big freaking deal about it and fucking sold out this exchange student in Hawaii named Barack.
Barack Senior.
He has nothing to do with Africa at all.
He's not offensively
this
black.
guy Frank Marshall Davis is a communist activist from Chicago. I mean, this whole fucking thing is it's freaking crazy. But anyway, so we had 8 years of this communist dictator. There was he had a potato wrapped around his dick. That's why they call him that's why I would call him a dictator.
It's still a puppet, though. You know, it's not like
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
did anything on his own.
Presidents.
Well, that's a hell of a tater tot.
Yeah, it's a tater tot. He's a tater tot the entire time. No, it's
he's just fulfilling a role.
Well,
so that's who rules tater salad.
Well, I think it's important.
Tater tot, tater salad, dictator.
I think it's important for people that have these questions to watch this film, and what you posted, Michael, was a portion of what is there, but the entire documentary film is. I think everybody should watch it, and it's on. Oh God, I can't remember the name. Stream Films. Shit, I can't fucking remember that.
InfoWars.
No, it's not an Infowars.
Infowars did one on him.
The guy that wrote it, he did a couple of documentary films, but this one, he was like going through the whole film acting as if he's Barack Obama, because Barack Obama wrote a book called Dreams from My Father. And
so that was like his first book, I think, right?
Yeah, that was his book. That was his autobiography, supposedly.
Yeah.
But he talked about his Uncle Frank in the book. Uncle Frank was his real father, and so this movie kind of sussed it out. Hold on.
Yeah, it was funny because when that book came out, I remember people talking about it on the trains and stuff. Like, did you hear about this guy Barack Obama? He's starting to like get into the spotlight, and this was way before he actually ran for president. So it was like they were putting him in place, right before it all went down for him to become president. What do you guys think about the Bill Hicks thing, man? Jason brought it up.
I'm about to put the link in the
we could talk about that.
And in the chat. You guys, if you haven't seen this yet, you have to watch it.
Yeah, I will definitely watch that.
You have to watch it. It's addictive. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times.
Really? It's really like well done?
It's fucking awesome, man. It's one of the best. Here we go. So, yeah. Control C. Boom. Going. Let's see. We got live stream text. Dreams from My Real Father. This is the entire film. Snag Films. And I'm going to put it in voice text. Live
Wait, so you can't even watch it on YouTube?
No, it's not on YouTube. The entire film is not on YouTube.
Hey, Mitty, a lot of these famous people fake their deaths and take on other roles. They're just puppets.
Yeah. I mean, I heard some crazy stuff, man. I was talking to Riggs. He was saying that, like, Jimi Hendrix might be, what's his name? The actor.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah. Who said that? Bong, right? You heard that?
Pretty.
What about
Jimmy Carter? Is JFK.
Jimmy Carter is, what's that, Kennedy? President Kennedy that was killed.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, let's take it one at a time. I'm still
on the fence about all that. I don't know about that. Man.
Bill Hicks. All right, let's talk about it. Bill Hicks, Alex Jones. Come on, like, what do you guys? What do you think? I'm on the fence.
I think Alex Jones is a transgender.
Oh, man, you just took it to a new level, bro.
No, I'm serious. Like, if you look at him, he has no neck. He looks like he's constantly pregnant.
So he's a pregnant woman. No, it's just
it to me.
Who?
But he has a beard.
Alex Jones?
His hair. It's obvious he wears like a rat pelt, and that's from abusing.
Alex was a woman?
Oh, he's
that dude took off his shirt the other day.
I'm with you. We can't tell him all day.
Transgender.
You saw him take off his shirt.
Yeah, acting crazy and shit. I was like,
ain't nobody trying to see that. What?
It's fucking hilarious, man.
All right,
like,
so is he Bill Hicks or is he a woman? Was Bill Hicks a woman? I'm so confused.
Nah. It's very confusing, but all these Freemasons, they like invert their genders. I mean, just look at our presidents. Our presidents are married to trannies. I mean, maybe you guys don't see it, but I see it.
Okay, so is Alex Jones Bill Hicks or is he a woman?
I think it's both.
So Bill Hicks was a woman, and then he became a comedian, man?
No.
What I'm saying is they're transgender at either a young age or potentially in the womb. And like they've been doing this for centuries where like if you want to change a girl to a boy, you load them up, I guess you load the mother up with testosterone. I don't know exactly how they do it. I'm not in their club, so to speak, so I am obviously speculating. But once you do learn to differentiate the male versus female anatomy, you start to see these things that don't make sense. And like, I don't know, I really do believe this transgender agenda is real, and that, in my opinion, almost everyone you see on TV, like Hollywood and stuff like that, they're put on for a reason, and they really are transgender. And the reason they do that is, number one, because it's an offense to God to basically say, like, oh, look, what you created wasn't perfect, so we're going to turn it upside down. If you look at like the Talmud, they want straight heterosexual males to lust after other males. And that's what we do by watching pornography, because in pornography, unless it's like that amateur stuff, it really is like hidden transgender. Like almost all like the free porn sites, they're really trannies that they sell you as being women, but they're not really women, which is fucked up. All right, I didn't mean to take it for the worst, but that's...
Well, they have vaginas.
So you watched free porn enough till you noticed they were trannies?
I used to think it was the most beautiful woman in the world.
Come on, I want the details.
Yeah, the porn stars are not... The porn stars are not trannies. You could see their genitalia. Yeah, you can see their genitalia, so that's not really in question.
Let me just say, I'm with Jason on this. This is why I can't watch TV anymore.
So, Mitty, I know it sounds absurd. It absolutely does. And just because you have tits and a vagina, that doesn't mean that you're a naturally born woman, because they have these procedures. Like these male to female transgenders, they may start with an anatomy.
Hold on. Okay, cool. But it sounds like we've got another conspiracy here, because people are saying they were born in the wrong body. You know what I mean? Like when you ask a person, a guy who thinks he's a girl, why do you do that? And I feel like I was born in the wrong body. So if that's that, you know what I mean, or if that's different, like, because some people might be born in the right body but just want to be something else. So is this a conspiracy? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's a mental disorder. It's called gender dysphoria.
Okay, wait. What I'm saying is, so a woman gets pregnant, okay? The doctor goes in and does something to alter the gender. Okay, you put in more testosterone or estrogen, whatever, into the fetus, and therefore changing the, bits and pieces, penis to whatever. And then the person who is supposed to be born as a male,
it's one of the things
is born with a female anatomy. Yep. Is that what you're saying? They're altering it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I am speculating because, again, I'm not in this secret society, so I don't really know how it goes down. Like, all I can do is guess.
Well, it's okay. Do you have any evidence for it? I mean, because it sounds. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were, and I wouldn't doubt that they're not doing that. But
here's what I would recommend: look into open transgenders where they actually look very. Traditionally people would say, oh, they look attractive, and that you can't really tell. Because what I'm saying is the technology exists to basically deceive normal people. And just looking like Thailand, these things, once you realize that the technology exists, it's not that far of a stretch to realize that it's part of the secret society cult that has been going on for centuries.
All right, but Alex Jones, like, let's take it one step at a time. Maybe we went a little too deep, but like Alex Jones, how could he be a woman?
Oh, good question. The thing about female to male transgenders that makes it really tough is the fact that testosterone and weightlifting can and not only that, but facial hair can make you think, oh, well, that's a man, because, hey, they got a bunch of muscles, they grow a beard. Women can't do that. But if you're juiced to the gills your whole life, you can do that. Like, if a woman was taking testosterone her whole life, would grow a beard.
Even the voice.
So a lot of the male to female transgenders, just listen to all the famous female singers.
Yeah, but can a female have a deep voice like a man?
Janis Joplin,
like freaking listen to him, Alex Jones. I turn in the fog sky.
I mean, Alex Jones, he's certainly a comedian. That's for sure.
I really think like the whole agenda with the transgender stuff is to like eventually try to hermaphrodite the population somehow or another, trying to like make us in Lucifer's image.
Well, it's all about worship,
like Sodom and Gomorrah, like Rome and Greece.
They're trying to make us in His image instead of us being God's image, like we're supposed to be.
Hey guys, did you know Chaz Bono was was born a boy, and then they turned her to a girl, and then back to a boy again? Like when it was a child, it was trans.
That's rough.
I'm not sure how they did it, but yeah, it reverted. It went from they flipped it and then flipped it back when she was adult. So she wanted to be Chaz from a woman. So I don't know what that's flip flop. You know, it's like they're very confused. But I don't think she has a penis anymore.
It's confusing. Like, okay, so if Alex Jones is a woman, then he can't be Bill Hicks, right? Or is like
no? So Mitty, what do you think about the first ladies? Have you just looked at the first ladies to see, like, just in your opinion, is it possible that these are not real women?
Yeah, Michelle Obama, I'm pretty sure it's possible that she's not a woman.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have an open mind. So like
yeah, I mean she's packing heat. Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's Michael. Michael's not a woman.
Big Mike.
Big Mike is not a woman. Magic Mike. Shout out to
got a schlong.
Hey now.
That was a movie. I unfortunately had to see that on an airplane. I was on an airplane, and it was like one of those playing, and I saw a few clips from it and whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. Yeah,
if
so
you're gonna give me nicknames, I prefer Iron.
Oh my god.
It goes with the Smith, you know, Iron Mike Smith.
Yeah.
I got a sign my son made me when he took auto body. It says Mike's Custom Auto. We're knocking out the competition.
You know,
it works on so many levels, you know.
My dad, he used to like the word iron. Actually, my dad's name is Ron, and he used to he liked the word iron because it has his name in it. So his screen name on AOL back in the day, it was Iron 33, because that's his favorite number. He has always loved that number.
Is he a Freemason?
Not at all, dude. He's always just loved the number 33. It's so weird, and he got me to like it too. So I've always loved that number before I got into this. Well, you know, before I understood the significance of it. Yeah. But I'm sorry, Jason, we kind of just got sidetracked. But so Michelle Obama's a man, and
what was Melania?
Yeah. What was that?
You should send the Human Chapel friends request, bro. You guys can transvestigate together.
So, Mitty, I think even Melania is. So, to me, as much as I want Trump to be a good guy, deep down, I don't.
Melania looks like she was a dude. I'm with you on that too.
Yeah.
She looks good though, right? You guys could admit that, right?
Melania is an attractive tranny. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought
every
she looked
movie
like
I watched, dude, I see a chick in there that used to be a dude. You ever watch that John Carter? The star woman of that show, that was a dude, man. Women don't have shoulders and wings like she had.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of the actresses.
You think Melania is a man?
Is either or, you choose.
Okay, so that's
she got a nice square jaw.
Yeah, that's what I thought that same thing. I'm like, you know what? She looks a lot like Bruce Jenner / Caitlyn Jenner. like the same effect. She makes an attractive tranny.
Just like Taylor.
I didn't want to tell everybody because I don't want to blackpill everybody. Like, how could the president be a good guy if his wife is a tranny?
Good question.
My first thought, bro.
Of course.
I mean, that's what we're left with. I mean, I don't think the president runs the show. I don't. You know what I mean? I think he's just he does the bidding of the people above him. That's all they do. They're not the king.
What about Beyonce? Is it Beyonce?
Beyonce's definitely a man.
So how is Jay-Z in a relationship with?
Jay-Z is a woman. He's a male to female.
Really?
Or a female to.
Yes.
Yeah. See his beard. His beard is funny. Jay-Z is by his cheeks. He doesn't grow hair. He's got a strange looking beard. He's probably a female to male tranny.
Really? I don't know, man. Because he like grew up in Brooklyn. He went to high school like Biggie Smalls and Busta Rhymes, and like they grew up together. So I mean, he was
hard to say, man.
I'm pretty sure he was a. I mean, I heard stories from like Busta Rhymes and like about. They used to rap battle in high school, so I don't know. I find it hard to imagine that Jay-Z. If Jay-Z was a good rapper back in the day,
maybe he's not.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing. But so then that's why, because there was a bit. All right, so let me add something to this because there was a big thing that came out recently. I'm not like big into the hip hop scene, but Jay-Z basically made a song about how he cheated on Beyonce. So now maybe that kind of makes a little more sense given the context of like if she's a man, maybe that's why he cheated on her.
Why is he with her if she's a man?
That's what I'm asking you guys. That's I'm trying to say.
Because he's Illuminati. The Illuminati do sick shit, dude. They're sick.
He's weird because he got like initiated to be about cooking up crack, selling crack, which is still Illuminati approved. But then he started rapping about like, literally he has a lyric. I'll find it. It's from his latest album. And I don't listen to Jay-Z. My brother's into it, but I like a few of his songs. They're catchy. But he has this line where he's like, you know why the Jews own all the wealth, or like you know why the Jews are so successful because they own property. Like he literally had a line about like Jews owning property. I'm not even making this shit up, man.
Well, they do. It's like undeniable.
I know, but he sang about it, and like
because they own the fucking
gangster
bank.
stuff.
It's like,
oh yeah, that is gangster stuff. I just realized.
You see that girl that I just posted? That's called a staccato. They see that's clearly a little boy on the left. That's the same person. Same person.
Yeah.
And you could tell that's a little boy. The smile, everything. Nothing about that says girl.
Right.
And they castrate them at a young age and give them female hormones. And here's another one. This is what they look like when they get old. See their devil worship stuff, the Rothschild with the devil medallion. It's a very ugly thing.
Yeah, remember that show? Remember that show back in the day, Kids in the Hall? You know anyone watch that?
Yeah, it's the Canadian SNL.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like it was a very funny comedy show, but it was only 4 actors, maybe 5 actors. They were all men, comedians, and they dressed up as women. And that was like, whenever they needed a woman, it was one of the men dressed up as them. So it's just funny how that's in the culture.
So, hey, Mitty, I think even Joe Rogan is transgender.
That's now you. I'm not a big fan of him, but that's like, I know he takes hormone replacement therapy, but
hear me out on this. He's been Hollywood from day one.
Okay.
We know he's been abusing hormones his whole life. Like he's admitted to that.
Yeah. That's on record.
So you can do your own investigation on it, but what I'd recommend, take a look at his Jewish wife.
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
I'd call it Jewish husband personally, but if you take a look at her, like, because the thing is, the male to females are a lot easier to figure out because, like I said, the female to male, they have the benefit of testosterone and muscles and facial hair, to mask up the fact that they're actually women. Whereas it's very hard to make a man look like a woman. And when you start looking at their so-called wives and realize, well, those aren't real women, then that only leads to two options. Either the man in the relationship is truly a woman, or he's just a faggot fucking a tranny.
Or he's a straight guy fucking a tranny, because they got that too.
Well, option number 3, maybe, I guess.
I guess they call themselves straight. Maybe I shouldn't.
Look at the pointer finger on what's this one, Ivanka or Ivan? Look at the pointer finger ratio to the ring finger, how it's shorter. That's a male characteristic. Just saying. I'm not saying anything. It's unusual for a female.
Yeah, and that pose right there is them. That's her basically saying, "I'll keep the secret," and also throwing devil horns.
No, but Joe Rogan, man, like, did you ever see him do martial arts?
Yeah, I don't know about Rogan. That was a question.
That's OD, bro. I respect too. Like, but for a question.
How would you wait? Is it like a body thing, like a body ratio that makes you think that?
Well, take a look at his lack of a brow ridge. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the older they get, the sooner you realize the mass abuse of hormones, because like both him and Alex Jones, they obviously lost their hair. And I know some people do go bald, but it's pretty consistent with these trannies that they do lose their hair because they've been juicing their whole lives.
You know which one is suspicious to me? Trump's other son. See him when he was little? Right here, I just posted it. The blonde. What's it? I forget his name, but doesn't that look like a girl? What's his name? Trump has 2 sons. And he has an effeminate way about him. I forget his name. Joe Rogan. Is his name Kevin? Trump's son. His wife, Eric. They look like an inverted.
There's Eric and there's Don.
Eric, yeah, Eric. His wife looks masculine and he looks feminine. Looking at the photo.
Look at that.
They're inverted. They do look inverted.
That's because they are. Now,
this should be down the rabbit hole. This is like.
Hey guys.
What up, man?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear, man. Good timing.
Hey, check this out. We're gonna have to end the stream.
Okay.
Hey, I do want to make an announcement before we do this.
What's up?
There's going to be a Flat Earth meetup in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Not this coming Sunday night, but the next Sunday night, the 24th, 7 p.m. Central Time. If you can make it, be there. It's at shit. I can't. Let me see the.
Dude, how many people do you think listening to this live in Arkansas? No, I think you should still promote it.
Well, shit, if you're within just a few hours, somebody might be listening.
I hope someone does, man. Yeah, that's true. Even if it's one person.
I mean, last meetup we had, there was freaking ice everywhere, and people traveled 3 hours. And there was 7 of us there, but there was 2 couples that came, traveled 3 hours in the ice to come see us.
Wow.
You should post it on Twitter,
well,
Facebook.
Mark Sargent made a video for it today.
Oh, great.
So look on Mark Sargent's channel for the meetup. It's going to be at Tiny Tim's Pizza. It's right downtown Fayetteville, 24th of February, 7 o'clock.
Isn't Blaze coming? Blaze said she's coming there.
Yeah, she's coming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Blaze is
She
going
has
to be there.
quite a long way
She's
to
coming.
drive.
There's a conference, and
I
we're
wish I
hoping
could
that
go,
Rob
man.
Skiba's speaking at the conference. It was just like freaking 2 blocks up the road from where we're having this meetup.
Oh,
And,
dude, you got to try to get in touch with him.
we already did. We're doing it. We're on it, man.
Oh,
Rob
dude.
Skiba might be there. So I want to.
I really hope
I'm
he
not announcing
comes,
that
man.
Rob Skiba will be there, but
dude, if he
Rob
comes, you
Skiba
gotta
will
get
be in
some
town,
footage or
but
something.
he may or may not come.
You know what you should do, Helio? Even if you can't get some video footage, just use the audio recorder on your phone, the voice memo,
Dude,
whatever. Take some audio.
I have a feeling this is going to be kind of a big meetup. I'll probably go ahead and live stream or record it.
Yeah,
this time.
I hope you do.
We've
Even
already
if you can't live stream it, just
I've
get
already
the
been
audio.
to 2 meetups in this area, and it's been really good. The people I've met are really cool.
Yeah, please do, man. That would be great.
So yeah,
you
we're
only
gonna have a
had
meetup.
7 people?
20.
7 people in that
Last
whole
one, but
state?
it was icy, man. I mean, I'm telling you, man. There was a lot of ice and snow here, man.
You want to know, Helio? I know 4 people personally that are flat earthers, just in my tight circle. Actually, 5. No, 5. And they're like, one is my cousin, my brother, my neighbor, my brother's best.
I know 10 around here now that came to meetups and stuff right here, man. So
like we could have a bigger. I mean, it's growing so much. Yeah, I don't. You should be able to pull up like at least 20.
Well,
I mean,
that's what
coming
I'm
from
working
other
on, man, and Rob Skiba is going to be in town. That's what I'm saying. That night, Rob Skiba is going to be speaking 3 blocks from where this meetup is.
It'd be nice if you could go there and maybe get a little bit of time to speak with the audience too. If there are people that are on the fence with flat Earth, you could push them over the edge.
Sure, Rob.
I don't know if they came to see Rob
Ron.
Skiba.
Yeah, that's
no pun intended.
That's not what's happening. It's already a conference. It's a big Christian conference thing. They already have it done. The reason we are established this meetup is because it's close to where Rob's going to be. If he wants to come, fine. We're not going to just like bombard we're not going to invade the conference and go over there. We're going to have a meetup there. We invited Rob to come. I don't know what you're talking about, Ron.
I was saying maybe go visit the audience hall where he speaks.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You could actually, you could wait outside. Like, they do that.
I'm pretty sure by the time this happens next weekend, not this weekend, the next weekend, Rob's going to already know about this conference because the guy that sets up the meetings around here, he's already contacted Mark Sargent. Mark Sargent's making a video. He's already actually put it out. It's probably on Mark Sargent's channel now about the meetup. And he said he would forward that to Rob Skiba, to his email, his private email from Mark Sargent. Rob already knows. I mean, Rob's going to already know. Why I'm going to go fucking invade their conference. Whatever. But I don't. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for the advisement. I already know. I mean,
invade with 7 people?
I don't know. Maybe.
Anyways, hopefully Rob shows up because that would be awesome.
The conference is already set up. Blaze is already going to be there.
Yeah, you're going to be there.
It's like she's probably going to meet Rob and be like, hey, we got this meetup, and he might be like, hey, we already heard.
If you're being polite, it's not an invasion. You're just going to say hi. I don't see what's the big deal. I'd go see him.
Well, and Now You See TV, you remember that channel? Now You See TV, he's speaking there too. I think he's a flat earther too. So I mean, it may end up well. I'm just saying it right now. I'm not trying to like say they're definitely going to be there, and you're just like, hey, just run down there and just like run in the conference hall, which is right down there. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, whatever. But I don't.
Well, you're going to try to get him there, and that's the important part. And you're not making any promises.
Hey, regardless, we're going to have a meetup right down the street from the conference hall, and hopefully Rob and Now You See TV will already know we're there, and I'm pretty sure they will.
Day,
what?
Is he any more important than any other flat earther? He's just another flat earther. I know he's more famous.
Why are you trying to tell me to bug them at their conference when if I was going to go to the conference, I would have went to the conference because I'm not really interested.
Sign my hat. Rob, sign my hat.
That's what I'm saying. I was just saying, hey,
Not
man,
been
it'd
a
be cool to meet
fanboy.
Rob Skiba. I mean, I like Rob
Yeah,
Skiba. He's a really like his speech opening up the Denver conference. Oh man, nobody
he
could
was
have
one
done
of the
it better. It was
people.
freaking
Yeah.
awesome, man. Did you guys listen to
His
that?
videos
I
were
was
one of
there.
the
It was
ones that
fucking awesome. Oh,
actually
you were there, Mitty?
convinced.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it was so freaking awesome.
He was
Because
great.
he was one of the people. You know how he described it? Like his explanation. He sounded like such a reasonable guy, and he had like gotten a lot of trouble from coming out as a flat earther. He lost his job, and he had a lot of struggles, for coming out because he was one of the early adopters, and that's what kind of
And
convinced
to
me. I'm
be
like,
honest, what's that Prophecy Club? He used to be in Prophecy Club, and I used to listen to a lot of Prophecy Club guys. I didn't know he was in that.
Star,
but
Power of Prophecy.
No, not Power of Prophecy. That's Tex Mart. But Prophecy Club. There's some guys that I used to listen to and some of that stuff, so I want to ask him about that. But if he shows up, whatever, we'll talk about that. But whatever.
Is Tex Mars still around? I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, he's not doing the Power of Prophecy. He handed that over to somebody else. The radio program is still going on, but he handed it over to someone else. But I'm sure
hope his health is
you
good.
can contact him. It's not hard to find, man. Just email him.
Well, I didn't know if he's his health is any good or something happened to him. He's off the scene.
I'm sure you can get a hold of him if you email him.
He was such a good show.
Probably be even easier to get a hold of him now since he's kind of retired.
Yeah, he's got a great speaking voice, and he's like, he red-pilled me.
Awesome.
And Tex Mars.
Yeah, me too, man.
He goes down the JQ rabbit hole, dude. He goes,
dude, me too. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I love Tex Mars.
No, it was the Jews.
It's because of Tex Mars that I looked into Flat Earth, man.
Oh, because he had Edward Hendry on there. I got into Tex Mars a little bit before. Yeah, right around that same time.
Not a little bit. I was in Tex Mars years before. I met Tex Mars through Alex Jones. I mean, started listening to Tex Mars because of Alex Jones. Like years before he ever, before Edward Hendry. I'd already heard plenty of Edward Hendry interviews before he wrote that book.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, years. I'm talking about years. I'm talking about like 5 years. I already know.
How did you hear him? Which books from Edward Hendry?
Well, just listen to Tex Mars. I mean, Tex Mars married Alex Jones's first wife to him. Did you know that?
When he was still Alex Jones, or when he's Bill? See, that's
what I'm saying. I think they're all a bunch of shills. It doesn't matter.
Wait, you think Tex Mars is?
Probably.
Shilling for
he's
what?
He's from the military. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even trying to figure that out. It doesn't matter because at the end of the road
it matters if you trust him or not. It's like,
well, he's not out there anymore. I mean, am I getting information from Tex Mars anymore? The information about the conspiracy of the 6-pointed star and all that stuff. I mean, it's really good information, but it's not the end of the beginning, which is I'm looking for the beginning. It's a clue to the beginning. So
if he's giving you pieces, you're never going to find all the pieces in one place. People spread out these gold nuggets, these little Easter eggs. They're spread out, and it takes a lifetime to assemble them.
Just like you said, I mean, it'd be like, it'd be nice to have Rob Skiba there, but I'm not looking to him as a superstar or whatever, but like,
how many pieces have you assembled? We have this giant puzzle to build, and we have lies at every corner, and you're trying to build a puzzle and everyone's lying to you. It's like, damn, who do I believe? I got 4 pieces and it could only be one, and it's like, who do I believe? I believe God. It's
I don't believe anybody that claims to have all the answers. I definitely don't believe them.
Well, nobody has all the answers in one place.
I believe the people that say I don't have near enough answers, and I'm on the path my own self. So that's the people.
And they try to keep you in doubt too. Like when you do have the right piece, they try to make you doubt it. That's where these flat earth chills.
To be honest, the conference that Rob Skiba is doing, I mean, I would like to meet Rob Skiba, but I'm not going to attend the conference, even though I probably could. It's because they're talking about stuff that I just totally disagree with.
Is he like a flat Earth Christian conference?
Yeah, it's a Christian Torah, whatever. I don't know. They're really dogmatic about different Torah. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to Blaze about
Maybe
that
Blaze
kind of
would like
stuff or
to
whatever.
go. I don't know.
She's going.
Then she could.
She's coming from Florida to go to that conference, so we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, she lives in Florida. She's coming to Florida.
She's coming to your little neighborhood meetup. That's really something.
Well, she's coming to Florida for the conference. I didn't know she was coming up there. I didn't even know about the conference still. She said something, and she's like, I was like, where's the conference at? And she's like, it's in Fayetteville. I was like, shit, I'm in Fayetteville. And she
coming from Florida.
She's coming from Florida to see the conference, which is cool. I mean, I don't care. People are on their own path. It's just like I'm saying, everyone's on their own spiritual path, so I'm not going to argue with anybody about spirituality.
How much is it?
It's about $100 a piece for 3 days.
Wow, it's pricey.
Yeah, but it looks like a pretty good conference, man. I mean,
it must be like a personal thing, dude. Really,
there's 5 really good speakers, and now you see TV. He's got
how many people are in attendance?
Don't know. They really kind of got a shitty website, honestly.
Yeah, be lucky if you have 500 people there. But still, it's $50,000. It's still a lot of money for one event.
Oh, I don't care about the conference. I mean, I'm glad that Blaze is coming up here. I'm glad that Rob Skiba is going to be there. Hopefully, he'll come to the meetup. And
he's one of the few
now you see TV. I think he's a flat earth. I think he is. If he ends up coming to the conference too, he's really cool too.
He figured out a way to do what he loves and get paid for it. We love flat Earth, but do you think people would $100? Well, yeah, but do you think people would pay $100 to hear Helio?
What do you know about Rob Skiba?
I know he does these speeches and he makes money and he writes books.
How long do you think he's been doing it?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying he found a way to make money doing what he does.
He's been doing it way before Flat Earth.
Well, whatever. He could be doing it. It could be his first day and people would attend. Doesn't matter how long he's been doing it. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
If you're good, people will come.
I mean, he's really good. Andy, he has an alternate view on all kinds of things about the Bible, whatever, and whatever. I mean, I'm not. I don't really think he'll end up showing up, but he might. It's just right down the street from the hotel. Hopefully, he does. Whatever.
It would be good if we could make a living doing this, and that's like what Jason was saying. If he was a successful investor,
and he had already successful way before Flat Earth, man. Actually, I think he lost revenue after Flat Earth.
Are you listening to anything I say?
No, I'm trying to shut the show down. Really, man.
All right. Let's shut her down. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Sorry, Ron. Damn it. No, I'm just saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Rob Skiba, he's been in this game for a long time. Not a game. It's not a game. It's his passion, and he's a really good guy. Hopefully, he'll show up at the meetup and meet everyone that comes. Ron, love you, brother, man. I'm sorry. I'm just really tired.
Yeah, me too.
Like an hour ago, bro.
Time to shut it down. Let's pull it.
Let's pull it.
Go him, no, shut it down.
Shut it. Hey, I've got a song to play. Hold on, I got it pulled up. Let me see where it is. God, I got too many freaking tabs open on this thing. Gosh damn it, I do it every time. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Where is it at? Wait. No, go back. No.
I was just saying, if we did have a rich friend, it would be nice if he could pay to put on events, like, hey, we're going to have a flat Earth event here, 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 and do them in every town.
That would be great. That would be great.
And then it's like, hey, Helio's in Arkansas. Give him a couple $100 to he'll host the show and bring a couple friends. And if he had like $1,000 budget and he could pay all his people like $200 a night, dude, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Pay me $100 a night, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Go out and do shows. You know, sell T-shirts. Yeah, I'm promoting.
Do it, man.
I don't have a promoter, man. No, ain't nobody gonna pay to see me, dude.
Eventually, I think eventually,
Ron,
man.
I think you get in front of the microphone and just, just talk.
You just have to, you have to organize it and plan it. That's what Rob's doing. And I think you could do it, dude. Just maybe not tomorrow, but potentially.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is kind of, I didn't even find out about this till the moderator meeting the other night. This is why it's like short notice. I didn't even know Rob Ski was going to be in my town.
You know what? I just had a good idea.
Ron,
you ever
know
see
what I just said?
Bumps?
I didn't know Rob Ski was going to be in my town until the moderator meeting the other night.
Yeah, Blaze told you.
And she told me she's coming to my town from Florida to be at the conference. So I was like, oh shit, I got to set up a meetup with my friends that I've already met up with here before. So, and maybe we'll try to get Rob Skiba here. That just happened in the past few days.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I don't know where everything else is kind of the meetup's happening, whether Rob Skiba comes or not. I have no idea, but the meetup's happening, and we're going to meet Blaze, and there's going to be a bunch of people. We're going to have a cool meetup in Fayetteville, whether Rob Skiba shows up or not. We're still going to have a great time.
Yeah, Helio, Tanner from the chat had a good idea. Call into TFR next week at midnight.
I guarantee Randy, he calls into Mark Sargent and bugs the shit out of him every time. He already meet me with Mark Sargent about the meetup. He's like, and Mark Sargent already made the video about the meetup.
Oh, that's great. But it would be nice, if you called in. But Helio, if you called in, that would be cool, man. When was the last time you called into Mark? Rob. But even Mark, if you called Mark's show, that would be cool too.
I don't think Rob takes calls. But if Rob,
Mark does.
So does Jaron. Maybe I'll call Jaron.
I gotta call Mark, man.
I've never calling a Jaron show Monday night.
Like, you should, man.
We're like, dude, I just called in. I just want to say, hey, shout out to Jaron and Dave, and be like, by the way, Rob, if you don't come to our meetup, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
I'll just play it.
No, I couldn't.
Shout out to Rob Skeeto. I'm just playing.
No, Rob is the man, dude.
He is. It's like, I mean, he's so. It's like if I was as popular as him, I'd probably be like, and they set up that meetup right next to the hotel. Oh, what the hell?
As popular as he is outside the flat Earth circle, nobody would know who he is. If he was walking down the street, 99.9% of people.
Hero, man. He's better come down and say hi to us.
I'm just saying. But outside the flat Earth community, he's not. So he's a big fish in a small pond. But I'm not knocking him.
Well, and then one of the people, like, I mean, Blaze is going to be there, man. She got to go in there and say, hey, I'm about to go to this flat Earth meetup. It's right down the street. You want to come meet everybody? And we'll be like, and I'll be on the phone. I should be like, Rob's on his way. And I was like, yes.
And then some idiots think we're doing this for money. Like, oh, the people flat earthers are doing it for money. They bring up people like that. Like, oh, Mark Sargent and Rob Skiba. Like, they're doing it for money.
Mark is going to help us get Rob there, man, at the meetup, man. I mean, it's just like, whatever. I mean,
no, I'm saying that's these people.
Because the past two meetups we've had, the guy that set this one up, I mean, I actually set it up. I contacted Randy, the guy that set up the past three meetups, and he calls into Mark's show every time to remind him that we're having a meetup. And so yeah, man. I mean, it's not Mark ain't playing, man. As soon as Randy soon as Randy emailed, I talked to Randy this morning. He emailed Mark. Mark got back with him, and he sent me a message saying Mark got back with him, and he's forwarded it to Rob. We haven't heard back from Rob yet. I mean, that was today. Mark Sargent already knew. He's like, I'll put a video out right now. I mean, it's just like, call Mark Sargent to show, but we're having a meetup no matter what. I don't care if you call Mark Sargent.
As long as he's showing for you, do your bidding.
Yeah, we're having a meetup, man. It all happened today. No.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna call it a night too. I'm losing my voice. Good night, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to Travis, the Plain Truth. He's in the chat, and I told him he's more than welcome to join us, man.
Yeah, bro. Hey, send him a link.
Time.
You got his you with him on Discord?
I don't have him on Discord, but I think he's been on Discord because I think he was on either Riley's or Issa's chat. And I wanted to mention also, speaking of Riley, because Ron mentioned monetization. Riley has a channel, and he's almost up to maybe 1,000 subscribers. He is not monetized, and he makes Flat Earth videos, lots of Flat Earth content. He does live streams, whatever. He's on Nathan's show, etc., etc. And Conspiracy Cats is a guy that tries to debunk him. He tries to debunk Flat Earth. He got monetized. I saw how his channel, I don't want to get into all the details, but he's monetized, and these are debunkers. They're monetizing their channels. They're making more money than Flat Earthers, in my opinion.
Hey, Plain Truth, man, click those links in the description. Get on the 24/7 Discord and message any one of us, any one of the moderators in there. We'll get you a link to this Discord, and you can come on to the next show, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, dude. We got to jam out.
We're probably going to do a show tomorrow night. So yeah. Love your
cool,
work,
dude. You're going to play one of your songs? Why don't you close us out on your songs?
I was going to play.
Because I want Travis to hear your stuff, man. I don't know if he's heard you sing, man. I think he needs to hear that.
Right. Well, I was going to play something else, but yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Let me see what I got.
I just wanted him to hear your voice, man. Travis has a really good voice. I love what he does with the flat smacking karaoke. And, we talked about that before. And
oh, yeah, he does. I've seen him do karaoke. Yeah, he is really good, man.
That stuff is brilliant, man. And I think Helio has an amazing voice. I think you guys would, collaborate someday and like harmonize.
Never did a guitar session, man. We were supposed to do a guitar session with MIDI to do that song. We never did it.
Yeah,
we got the lyrics. They changed the lyrics up on us before we could cut the song, dude. We don't have the song.
See, yeah, we should have recorded it. Then we could have been like, bam, it was
right. If we played the song, it's like, no, here's the timestamp we record. Dude, what if they had changed the lyrics in the song? Like they did for Hotel California. They changed the lyrics. When I began to pray, I pretend to pray. They changed the freaking song. But I mean, they probably did that with studio album. You know what I mean? They had two versions, but still, I don't know how the hell they changed that. That's more like a Mandela effect. Oh, dang, you just came in late tonight. Jackal's late. Just popping in we're closing shop. But thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're closing up. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna, at the request of one of my co-hosts here, I'm gonna play one of my songs, but I clicked the wrong one. Dang it. I'm gonna play. I don't know. You said Travis might want to hear my voice.
Yeah, dude, because he's into like the alternative rock kind of stuff. So I think that's basically the genre that you did a lot of work in.
All right, this one's it. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight. It's playing. You guys can't hear it in Discord, but
the story from beginning to the end. How I love those eyes when they my friend. The stranger, he comes calling with a worry or a problem of some kind. Then those eyes are cool and distant. The stranger won't say what's on his mind. I can see in your eyes disappointment. What has gone wrong this time? Is it something I should be concerned with? Or let the stranger think I don't mind? I can't accept the love of a stranger. I feel betrayed and oh so sad. I have memories of our sweet love and the good times that we have had. Oh, the eyes, they are revealing. They tell of thoughts within. I don't want the eyes of a stranger. I want the eyes of my best friend, my best friend. Oh, my love, why be a stranger? I want to share your ups and downs and let our hearts and minds move together so we can walk on solid ground. When your eyes say to me, friend, the stranger who walks out the door, he fades and sets things right again. Oh, my love, you're just like you were before. Oh, the eyes, they are revealing. They tell of thoughts within. I don't want the eyes of a stranger. I want the eyes of my best friend, my best